Welcome to Bad Dice, the UK's first Warhammer Fantasy Battle podcast. We bring you news, reviews and updates from all around the UK tournament scene. Your hosts are Ben Curry and Ben Johnson. We hope you enjoy the show, and if you do, be sure to let us know. You can contact us on thebens@baddice.co.uk or leave a positive review on iTunes. Okay, welcome to episode 60 of the Bad Dice podcast. I'm your host, Ben Curry.
And I'm Ben Johnson. Episode 60.
Episode 60 already, yeah.
60.
Flying,
wow.
Man, flying. So we're fresh back from the South Coast GT, or as it's going to be renamed, I think, the Ben Diesel GT.
The Ben Diesel GT. Yeah, that.
Yeah, good start, mate. So the Ben Diesel GT is, it seems, Dieselmania seems to have taken over, doesn't it?
It was, yeah, it was good. It was really good. I thought he was going to snap, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Before the tournament, I says, I'm going to get a bit of ribbon in early because I don't want to be the last one to do it because I can see him snapping. 160 people all on him, but took it well.
So we've got plenty to talk about in this episode, South Coast GT being the main thing, but we've got plenty of hobby stuff been doing over the last week or so as well, haven't we?
Yeah.
It's been bank holiday weekend here, so we've both got plenty done. Before we get into that, we're going to give a quick shout out to our sponsors. We're going to start with Rankings HQ. You can check them out at rankingshq.com. It's basically a worldwide ranking site for rankings from all sorts of different game systems for basically all gaming communities around the world. In addition to that, they do basically Rankings HQ TV. It's a TV show about wargaming. What else do you need, really? So yeah, check them out at rankingshq.com. Be sure to check out all the videos, all the latest stuff from Adepticon's gone up, the Crystal Brush, all that sort of thing. Yeah, spot on. Check them out, rankingshq.com.
Finally managed to take advantage of that in HD as well.
Oh, with your new phone?
With my new swanky phone, yeah.
Fair enough. So you watch them on your phone, not on your...
I normally watch them on my phone, yeah, and because it's not the greatest screen on there, I just basically listen to it as almost a podcast.
Yeah.
It's on the side of the table while I'm painting. But now I've got my swanky phone with a good screen on. Can actually watch in HD.
Nice.
Yeah, the Crystal Brush one is fantastic.
I've not watched that one yet. But what seems to happen is they keep going put out, and then I'll have a morning while I'm painting, catching up with them all. Yeah. So I'm about to do that. Okay, next up we've got Ogg Games, ogggames.co.uk. It's an online store, sells everything you could possibly need for all your wargaming needs. Mm-hmm. You get 15% off all Games Workshop products and 15 to 20% off pretty much everything else. Latest hotness coming out of Ogg Games, Lord of the Rings living card game. Apparently it's going to be the new big things in the collectible card games. Ollie's been raving about it, telling me all about it at the South Coast, so we'll have to check that out. Tomb Kings are coming pretty soon. You can get them all on pre-order, 15% off. So check them out at ogggames.co.uk.
And they also sell magnets.
Magnets? Yep. You like the magnets?
I've just ordered a load of magnets. Right, that's why it was on my mind. Like,
yeah, fair enough. Next up, we've got Unseen Lurker. You've had your latest issue?
It came on Saturday.
I've not had mine yet. It's only because Bobo texted me and says, "What's your address? I need to send you a magazine." I didn't reply. And then when you got yours and everyone else on Twitter was saying they got theirs, I was like, oh, why isn't mine here? But mine isn't here because I'm an idiot and I didn't send him my address.
Yeah. No, I sent him mine when he asked and yeah, it came and I read it, very impressed. Apart from the awful photo of me.
Awful photo?
Awful photo.
I've not seen it, but
oh dear.
I can imagine.
Yeah, I'm not very photogenic.
Why are you in it?
Because I broke the Army Doctor.
What's the Army Doctor?
The Army Doctor is Mr. Michael Biggs, who every sort of issue will be answering a question from a reader, and this question was regarding High Elves and how this High Elves player can beat his friend Skaven Army. So Michael played a few games with the High Elves, writing a bit of a report on how what he's taken and what works well against the Skaven, and he played me, and I killed it all. Sorry, Michael.
Just didn't work. Army Doctor says no.
Army Doctor failed.
says buy a new army. Demons are quite good, I hear.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, check them out. It's Unseen Lurker. You can check them out at unseenlurker.com, and you can download a quarter of the magazine so you can view it to decide if you like it before you buy it.
Definitely worth
basically.
doing as well.
So yeah, it's worth a look, and it's a top quality full colour PDF to download. So it's not like you're going to download some shitty black and white thing. Okay, last but not least, we've got Battle Foam. So because we've had some new toys, some Malifaux, which we'll talk about in a bit, I've been looking on the Battle Foam website, and they do a Malifaux bag.
Funny that.
And have you as well?
Yeah. I quite like the nice red one they do.
Yeah, they do a Malifaux bag, which is great. I wish they'd do a Games Workshop one. Obviously, they can't because of whatever. But they do like a Malifaux branded Battle Foam bag, which like the front half of it's got a flip down where you can put your rulebook, your cards, your pens, all that sort of stuff. And then the other side you can put 3 trays. One's a pluck and pick for your big models, and then there's 2 different sizes of just like standard trays. And it looks great in 3 different colours. I like the purple one, and with the Malifaux logo it's stitched in it. It looks awesome. So Battle Foam, basically, for those that don't know, make all sorts of different...
Make awesomeness.
Yeah,
in bag form.
Awesomeness in bag form and foam form. So check them out at battlefoam.com. They've got an awesome new website. Yeah, basically anything you need to carry anywhere, they can do for you. Your figures will be as safe as they've ever been. So check them out at battlefoam.com. Hi guys, I just want to take a minute to tell you about an amazing new product from Battle Foam. It's the brand new Battle Foam Warhammer Fantasy trays. Battle Foam have recently released 40 of these trays, pre-cut to suit any of your fantasy army needs. If you have a huge monster, an amazing character, or a wild conversion, you can also design your own tray using the Battle Foam Custom Tray Creator. You can get a unique custom tray to suit your unique custom army. Battle Foam also make a revolutionary range of bags called the Pack System. These bags are designed to carry your army in total safety no matter how big or small. There'll be a bag designed for exactly what you want. No matter what it is you need transporting, you can find the foam and bag to do it at battlefoam.com. Okay, so I don't think there's much news, nothing that we haven't heard already, so we're going to go straight into our Fortnights in Fantasy.
Okay.
Have you done any gaming? Because I haven't. Bank holidays and South Coast.
No, not with the South Coast, and being poorly following the South Coast, I've not done anything other than the 5 games I did play.
Yeah, well, I played 8, so fair few. I went to Cardiff on the Monday after the South Coast. I was hoping to get some games in at Firestorm Games, but I was ill. Spectacularly ill. Thanks.
Sorry.
But we'll talk about that again as well in a bit.
Yeah.
So I've had not played any games. I have, however, done loads of other hobby stuff. So what do you want to start with?
You crack on.
Modelling?
Yeah.
Okay, so happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you.
It was your birthday on Tuesday. And I bought you some Malifaux for your birthday.
Yes, you did.
I? So we both got I bought myself a crew, bought you one. I went down to Maelstrom Games basically and saw what they had in stock and picked the models I like. To be honest, I did know something about the rules. I've heard that Perdita, apparently the name is quite broken, so I thought I'll have some of that. So I went down, had a look, and didn't like the models, so my hobby side overruled. And I got the showgirls. I got Colette and a bunch of chicks, a couple of mannequins, and yeah, it's all good. Just the box set, it gets 6 models in it. And I got you the I think what they called the Karai.
I have absolutely no idea. Some Japanese types.
Yeah, I looked at all the models, and I wasn't sure if you'd like the steampunk sort of theme. Didn't know.
The models I have seen, my favourite ones are the little teddy bear dudes and the little Red Riding Hood girl. I forget what they're called.
It's the Neverborn.
Neverborns.
It's Candy, Baby Cade, and that sort of Teddy.
I love them.
Adam Hall's
already got them, yeah.
So again, I like them as well, but I didn't want to duplicate what we'd already got. So yeah, I picked you up the samurai types because I thought they looked quite cool. So yeah, I've been building mine, you've been building yours. So talk a bit about them.
Well, they're very small to start with. This was the first thing I noticed. Small and delicate. Yours even more so, to be honest with you. All of mine are all single piece, apart from the leader, who's got a pair of scissors in front of her, and like some weird like necromancer type chap who's just holding out his hand that's on fire.
Yeah, well, mine were all single piece as well. Half of them weren't. The two mannequins, the arms came separate, and then there's a chick with a sword in front of her.
Both of those arms?
The arms, yeah, both of the arms got pinned.
Ooh.
Anyone who wants to see them, I'll post some pictures on the Snake Eyes section of my work in progress. You'll see how tiny the arms are. And what I'll do is as well, I'll post them up next to like a witch elf or something, so you can see the equivalent. But yeah, they are pretty small.
Yeah,
but I pinned them, and they seem to pin pretty fine.
And that is something I've noticed. I think the metal seems softer than the GW stuff. Different types, different qualities, I'm not sure. It's just a bit easier to cut, a bit easier to file, which is no bad thing, to be honest with you. All the detail is very delicate as well, so cleaning them up, you've got to be a bit careful because you can lop a finger off.
I noticed that
quite easily.
Problem was mine had a lot of mould lines running down the faces.
Oh dear.
Which was a pain, but I've managed to do a good job on them.
See, I've got one of the sort of samurai women types is quite bad, but the worst bit of it is sort of under her arm, in the little triangle between her body and her arm.
Yeah, and you won't see it.
You won't really see it. I've done the best I can with that. But yeah, they're nice. They are, like going back to the scale thing, I think they're like a 25mm non-heroic.
It says 30mm on the rulebook.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, don't see me.
No, it doesn't at all.
No, but they are nice. They are nice, a lot of detail. And I tried, when I painted them, tried to do them a bit differently from what I've been doing to Skaven. Lots of light colours and lots of ink. Lots and lots and lots of ink.
I've been doing this. I've not really used many inks on mine, to be honest. I've used more sort of, I've just painted it. No, I don't think I've put any inks on. Bit of glazers, shading and highlighting with really watery paint, but not really covered it in ink. The bits I've used inks, the flesh on Colette, which I've started.
Yeah.
But even then, it's been Devil and Mud mixed with bronze flesh to get sort of deep shadowy flesh colour.
Yeah. Well, like the little dragon dude, that I painted the head and top of the neck goblin green, and then down from there hawk turquoise, quite thin, and then Deneb stone or the top or the sort of as a highlight.
Yeah,
and then white as a highlight, and then ink, and then more ink, and more ink, and more ink, and built it up like that.
You posted these on the forums, haven't you?
No, they're on Twitter.
Okay, they will be on the forums.
They will be on the forums, yeah.
So people can have a look. And if you're not interested in Malifaux, it doesn't matter, because still the painting techniques are still there. So talk to me about your bases, because I wasn't sure what I was going to do on mine.
Well, again, having not played it, and having no idea of... I've got a vague idea of the sort of world, and I had a bit of a look on the net as to what other people have done. And I asked the people on Twitter, which is great. If you don't know anything, ask Twitter. It's fantastic.
It is useful, isn't it?
Yeah, very. I thought I'll go for sort of slabs. And I thought, well, rather than buying something, because then you've got to buy it, it's got to get delivered with umpteen bank holidays, so I'll not get it for a fortnight. I thought I'll make some. So I was thinking, what can I make them out of? And in the end, I thought, well, I've not tried this green stuff moulding malarkey before. I've seen people use it. I've spoke to people about it. I've never tried it myself. So I thought I'd give it a go. And the bases are a piece of roof. You know, the plastic roof sections from Mordheim.
Yeah.
It's a piece of that, green stuff pushed into it to make the mould. Cut that out, stick it down onto something solid, push some more green stuff into the top, and repeat that 6 times.
Right, so this is what I had the question about. Why did you make a mould, if you know what I mean? So you got the flat tile section, and you push green stuff onto it, and then you cut that green stuff into a circle. Why is that not good enough to use as your base?
Because it's the opposite way around, isn't it?
Yeah, but was the effect not good enough?
No, because it doesn't look like tile. What you get is you get raised bits where the gaps are in the tile.
Okay, yeah, I've got you.
Really? You didn't understand that?
I kind of did, but when I looked at the pictures, it didn't look like it mattered.
Yeah, but when you see it with a bit of depth to it, you see it straight away.
Yeah. That's the question.
Yeah. No, that's why. That's why.
It looks pretty good. When I saw you doing it, I was like, that looks great. Because I was sort of thinking, I want like a Victorian gutter with like open sewer and all that sort of stuff, but only small bases, a lot of detail to get
They
on.
are only small, but they are bigger than a Warhammer base.
Yes.
That we're used to.
Yeah.
So again, I thought it was an opportunity to, because there's only 6 of them, try some new
You
techniques,
can show off.
certainly a different style, and try something that I've not done before with the moulding.
Yeah, it looks... well, you've put a load of photos of the moulding on the Snake House section, haven't you?
Yeah.
It's already got some comments. Seems like people are interested in it. So check it out, because like I say, you might not be interested in Malifaux, but it definitely applies to Warhammer.
Yeah, it does. And there's also comments on there about other products that are out there. Instamold is one.
Yeah, you've just said you watched a video on this.
Yeah.
So what's it all about?
It's a plastic stick. It looks like a glue gun stick that you put in hot water, and it goes all soft and squidgy. Basically, it goes like putty. You can then press that into something, and it sets solid. About 5 minutes, and it's set solid again. And then you can use that to make your mould from.
Sounds
But
good.
Apparently, well, not apparently, from what I've seen on the video, green stuff, grey stuff, all that sort of modelling putty doesn't stick to it. So you don't have to mess about with mould release or anything like that.
Right, okay. So what did you use on yours for mould release? Just some olive oil.
Yeah. Tiny little bit, and just blast it on, get it in any sort of fiddly corners.
Get a paintbrush on it.
Get a paintbrush on it, yeah. You don't need a lot. You don't need a lot at all. You need the tiniest little swipe, and it'll go miles. You don't want it dripping in it, because you'll not be able to push the green stuff into the detail. The olive oil will keep it off, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So yeah, I use that. But this Instamold, apparently nothing sticks to it.
Oh, right, okay. So you're going to have to get some of this on.
It does look very
good.
good.
Who makes it?
I don't know. The advert was on Coolmin or not.
Okay, we'll have a look at that.
And you can reuse it as well. So when
right,
you've done your
so
mould...
you just put it in water
Yeah,
again.
you've made your 6 bases for your Malifaux gang or whatever. You stick it back in some hot water and mould it into something else. It was also showing doing 2-part casting with it. So
Sounds complicated, though.
Yeah, it does, to be honest with you. And the results didn't look fantastic. But it was just doing it quick on a video. So I imagine with a bit of practice and a bit of work, it'd be doable.
But it'd be ideal for like emblems and...
Emblems, shield bosses, banner tops, that sort of stuff, or stuff to stick on banners. Basically, anything that you only want one side of is what it's, I imagine where the idea came from.
Yeah.
So good little technique, and worth being able to at least try.
Very good. So have you done any other modelling?
Oh, more Skaven.
More Skaven.
More Skaven.
Do you know what I'm talking about, Skaven?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, fine. What did I buy? Bought a Grey Seer off Mr. Chesney. I've bought myself a Trench Craven Tail, the other special character.
Yep.
He's the one guy I've not got. He's going to be Storm Vermin champion in my unit, Storm Vermin. And I bought a Warp Grinder, which I've converted into a Rattling Gun.
With an assault cannon end.
With an assault cannon end.
Nice.
Yeah.
It looks pretty good as well.
Yeah, as soon as I saw it when it was released months and months ago, I was like, chop the end off that. Assault cannon, done.
Nice.
Yeah, so I've got that to paint. I've just painted the Thanquil, another Grey Seer. I'm taking 2 Seers to Call to War. I've got 4 Clan Rats to finish, well, a unit filler for the Clan Rats to finish, and the Rattling Gun Assault Cannon to paint, and that's my army.
Nice. You're not doing any more after that?
Yeah. Got loads.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got loads of it sat in my painting tray to be painted. Rat Ogres, more Slaves, Storm Vermin, Bell.
So when are you using the Bell and the Rat Ogres?
I don't know.
You got your eye? Summer Incursion?
I've got the Rat Ogres. I've got my eye for Summer Incursion.
Yeah.
The Bell I'd like to take to the Midlands, but I'm not sure yet.
Okay. I like this. New unit for every tournament.
That's the plan, yeah. New toy for every tournament.
See, I've gone the other way, and I bought my Call to War ticket, and I've sent my list in. Don't know when they're due. I just sent it in. I don't even know if you have to send them in. I just sent it in anyway. Just sent my South Coast GT one in.
Yeah.
Before that, it was Swiss cheese. Used my South Coast GT list there. So yeah, it's I'm getting set in my ways with my army list. I'm afraid.
Yeah, but then you've also got a bucket of Dark Elves anyway.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Whereas the Skaven is I've been trying to use it to motivate to paint and to play rather than just get set in one army.
I have, however, bought a new army.
You did?
Yes.
It was delivered to the curry house.
Yeah, so South Coast GT, in the run-up to it, I was trolling eBay like you do, not really looking for anything, just searching the normal stuff like you do, Warhammer, Army, or just flicking through the general Warhammer section, when an ogre army caught my eye. And by ogre army, I mean an army of ogres. There was something like 40 of them, 50 of them, something like that, for a princely sum of 75 quid, all built and painted. Painting's not great on them. And as I found out, the building wasn't great on them neither. But yeah, and the item was listed as being in Portsmouth. So I sent him an email and said, look, I'm going to bid on this one way or the other. Not bothered if you say no, but do you fancy delivering them to Portsmouth while I'm down there this weekend? It'll save you some postage money because they offered free postage as well.
Yeah.
So I said, yeah, sure. So I did bid. I won the auction. In fact, I was bidding on the Friday night of the tournament while Kaz and Chris from the Black Sun were trying to use my iPhone to do some recording on.
Yeah.
And it kept flashing up with an alarm. And I was like, they're like, what's this bloody alarm keep going off? So I saw it's eBay stuff. I had to set my alarm so I didn't forget it. So yeah, I bid it, I won, and they dropped it off to the curry house. So I was sat having a curry on the Saturday night. So I got them home, had a look at them, and I don't know. It looks like whoever's painted them has painted them all the pieces individually, and then glued them together with like PVA glue or something, or like you said, maybe plastic glue, which hasn't took very well because it's been painted.
Yeah.
But they're all falling apart. So I've done 10 so far, where I've pulled all the bits apart and re-glued it using Mitre-Bond.
Was it just the arms falling off?
Arms, heads, anything, even the belly plates. The ogre's legs have got like extra bits that go on the shoes. Have you seen them? Or they were falling off, everything.
Oh.
So, I mean, I knew the army needed rebasing, and then it needed like a lick of paint and some dip, maybe some highlights if I wanted to keep them rather than just paint it up and sell it. Excuse me. So I don't know. I'm sort of wanting to play them, and I've also got my eye on some others that are on eBay, and it's ending first thing in the morning.
Don't tell everyone.
Well, the show won't be out by then. It's another 50 odd ogres, including a load of metals. There's yetis, there's like half a dozen man eaters, and it's the same price, like 75 quid. So must be 200 quid's retail there.
Wow.
So I might pick them up as well. We'll see. See how much to go for, because I think that one's got some bids on.
Yeah.
But yeah, ogres. So I might. I think I'm gonna paint them up. I might take them to a tournament and then get them sold. Bit of a money spinner.
Never happen, listeners.
What? Never get sold?
Nope.
It'll be like the arachno.
They'll sit next to the spider.
Yeah.
Have you built the Howdy yet?
No. Been building Malifaux.
Wow. More money than sense.
Yeah, must have. Absolutely must have. So, anything else in the hobby?
Read the Unseen Lurker that came. Read the White Dwarf that came.
Oh, good and evil.
Unseen Lurker is very good, to be honest with you. Yeah. Two articles that did catch my eye. One in Unseen Lurker, one in White Dwarf, relating to what was a few people spoke about the South Coast about painting standards.
Oh yeah, okay.
There's an article in Unseen Lurker about I think it's Mike Newman from Gollum Paint Studios does an army in 600 minutes, so 10 hours. Lizardman army.
Yeah.
I'm slightly doubtful on some of the times.
Okay.
A little bit. However, read the article and it's very informative and just goes to show what you can do.
Yeah, in
quickly.
basically 2 days' work.
Yeah.
Which isn't even a full day.
Well, that's basically what it describes. Do you know what I mean? As, a weekend, or a couple of weekends, or 2 weeks of an hour a night. There's your 10 hours. So yeah, it's definitely doable. And also, White Dwarf, they get the hobby team to do some Tomb Kings. And again, step by step, like 3-step painting on a skeleton.
Nice.
Spray it Deneb stone, scab red on the red, tin bits, black, white, ink it, one highlight here, one highlight there, nick with white, nick with white, nick with mithril silver, done. It's not hard, boys.
No, it's not hard. So while we're on the subject, do you want to talk about painting South Coast, or do you want to do that later?
Can
we'll do that later when we talk about the
Okay.
South Coast. So anything else you've done hobby-wise?
No, that's about it.
Okay, so I've done some reading. I've been hammering it, actually. Someone mentioned on Twitter that I'd reading machine.
Reading? What's wrong with you, man?
Well, it's my Kindle. I've been charging it up, and so what I've got my notes. So I have been reading the Dresden Files. So anyone who listens to the D6 Generation probably heard these talked about, and the basic, if I were to synopsisize it, was it's all about a guy called Harry Dresden, and he's a wizard. He's an openly practicing wizard, and he's the only one in the phone book in Chicago, in the Chicago area. So the real world sort of knows about the supernatural world in a sort of loose sort of way.
Okay.
There's like lots of rumours and stuff, and like some people, members of society, know about him, and like Harry Dresden is an openly practicing wizard, but most people just think he's a Fruit Loop, and is basically about him, and he helps the police investigate sort of the weird happenings.
Is he like Mulder?
Kind of, yeah. So, mate, do you know how old that reference is? A lot of our listeners will not even know.
I know, but it's been repeated on Sky Atlantic, and
And you've been watching it.
great.
So the first one was called Stormfront. Basically, it was about a wizard who uses storms to get his magic. It was quite cool. Some dark sorcerer type thing. The second one was called Full Moon, not Full Moon, Fool. And it's about werewolves. That was quite cool. And the third one I'm reading now is called Grave Peril, and that one's sort of like ghosts and spirits and stuff, which they're all pretty good, really, really good. Put it this way, I've read 3 of them in sort of like a week.
Do they do an audio version?
Probably yes.
Okay.
So you want to get on Audible and get something downloaded, I think. But yeah, I prefer when I'm in the car or whatnot, I prefer to listen to podcasts rather than a book. So I'll stick to them, and I think I'll stick to my reading. And a couple of hours an hour at night before I go to bed or whatnot. Yeah, I'm piling through them.
See, this is why your Atnox not painted.
Yeah, because
you sat there reading instead.
Yeah, the other one I read was called Forever Neverland. Did I talk about this on the last one?
I'm not sure.
No,
You've been rattling on about it for ages.
Peter Pan one, really good.
You're obsessed with Peter Pan.
It was really, really good, and then the ending was fucking garbage, and so it annoyed me really. But
it suckered you in and then kicked you in the
good book all the way through, and then the last 2 chapters were just garbage.
There's been an advert on Sky for something Peter Pan-y.
Is it really?
Coming in the summer, apparently.
Might have to keep an eye out for that.
There's a big hook, and then it says never something or other.
I'll keep an eye on that. I do like Peter Pan. It makes me think I'm a kid again. Okay, other things. Movie weekend.
How wrong is that?
Movie weekend, mate. I have watched, I think, 6 movies. So, Hot Tub Time Machine.
How good is Hot Tub Time Machine?
Hot Tub Time Machine. Yes, it is absolutely brilliant.
Isn't it? Have you been watching this on Sky?
Yeah, on the Sky Player. Yeah. Just got the Sky Player on the computer, and you can open like a client on the laptop, download all the shows off the internet onto your laptop, and you can watch any time. So I linked my laptop to the telly with HDMI cable. We watched Interview with a Vampire last night.
Yeah.
I watched Hot Tub Time Machine while I was painting, because Kel was ill on Saturday, so I had all day painting. So I watched that. I watched. I'm halfway through Legion at the moment. Have you seen Legion?
Who's in Legion?
I don't know who's in it, but it's like the angels are coming down to put an end to all human life, and they've got to keep. It's a bit shit.
Okay.
What else have I seen? I've watched. A load of just crap American Pie types, like 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah.
And I went to watch Arthur as well at the cinema yesterday morning. That was quite good.
Was that
I
good?
do like Russell Brand though, and I'd like to see the original because I don't think we ever watched it. It was Dustin Hoffman.
Dustin Moore.
Dudley Moore. Dudley Moore. That was it. So that was
Wow, you say X-Files is an old reference.
Yeah, I know. But the Arthur was a good movie. So anyone listening, thinking about seeing Arthur, if you're into Russell Brand, it's Russell Brand at his finest. If you're not that into him, I think you'd still enjoy it because it's got some really funny bits in it. It's just basically a spoiled rich brat, and he's just getting up to no good. And yeah, it's great.
Okay.
Some chick is wearing some kinky underwear, chasing him around the bedroom. He's trying to get away, and he runs under his bed, crawls under his bed, and out the other side. And his bed's like one of these floating magnetic things. And all the lingerie's got like chains and shit on it, and it magnetizes to the bed. He just leaves it hanging there and runs off. It's quite cool. Made me laugh. Yeah, good movie.
Easily pleased, aren't you?
So yeah, other than that, that's my fortnight.
I went
fantasy.
to see Scream 4.
Oh yeah, what do you think? Now, before you get into it, you've seen all the others, yeah?
Yes.
Did you like them all?
Yes.
Okay, and did you go into this expecting it to be anything other than take your brain out, load of shit, but it should be quite interesting? It's quite fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's all it was?
No, it was fucking awful.
Oh, man. Really? That bad?
Really, it was that bad.
Oh, no.
It was that bad, we were on about leaving.
No way.
Really.
I don't think I've ever left a
It
movie.
was awful. I don't know what's wrong with bloody David Arquette as well. He sounds like he's had a stroke.
He's always sounded like that, though.
No,
hasn't he?
even more so. Oh no, it was.
Is it all the same cast?
He's
Except
in
the ones
it.
that have died.
Courtney Cox is in it, and Neve Campbell's in it.
Yeah. The rest died.
The rest are dead. Yeah. No, it's just poor.
Fair enough.
Really, really bad.
So, did you watch it in 3D?
No.
Oh, mate. Go and watch it in 3D. Makes it all better.
To be honest, if I'd have watched it in 3D, I'd have asked for my money back. Really, I would. Because we went in the day when we were off, because my missus has been off.
I went in the day to watch Arthur, and it was like £2.50.
Yeah.
And they gave you free popcorn. It was like, yeah,
have
come in
you
the day.
seen how much it is for 3D?
No,
It's like £12 a ticket,
even in the day.
even in the day.
Yeah, we went to the one in Derby, which I always go to now.
Is that Westfield?
Because the screens are great, yeah.
Yeah.
You go to the showcase on the outskirts, and the screen's shit. You go to the ones in town, the screens are great.
Mate, the place looks like it's been burnt down as well.
Yeah. And it was, I went to the counter, and he was like, paid for 2 tickets. He's like, $5.50. It's like, for 2 of us? He's like, yeah. It's like, okay, why? I didn't just keep my mouth shut and wander off. I was like, why? What's going on? And he's like, oh no, if you come in the day, it's matinee price, it's dead cheap. And I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
All I have to do is sit inside and don't see the sun.
Well, normal ticket's about £8.50. It's £3, I think, extra to see it in 3D, and you've got to pay £1 for your glasses.
No way.
Yeah. And if you go to Westfield, it's £2 an hour to park.
Oh, it's $3.60 for us on Sunday during the day.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? We've had a 5-minute rant about this cinema.
5 minute round about tickets.
But yeah, that did surprise me when they said you want 3D. It's like,
However,
no.
if you got no interest in Arthur at all, you should still go and see it because there's a trailer for Captain America.
I saw the trailer for Captain America on Scream as well. Yeah.
How cool does that look?
It does look pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the look of that. So, talking about comics, you've had a new app, haven't
Yeah, I
you?
have. Yeah, with my new phone, I've got the Marvel comic app, and what's the other one called? Just comics.
Yeah.
X Comics, which does everything because obviously Marvel's just the Marvel stuff. Mate, really impressed. Have you got one?
Yeah, I downloaded the Marvel one after you tweeted about it.
Yeah, really cool. I can see myself spending some money on that.
That's what they're there for.
Yeah, I know.
So-
Bastards.
All right, well, on that note, I think we'll go for a short break. And when we come back, we're going to get into our Dieselmania coverage. Once upon a time, there was a guy named Oggy. Oggy loved nothing more than to go to a Warhammer tournament on a Saturday afternoon. He'd got his lovely army all ready to go, all purchased from the Og Games web store. And he'd even lined up his first 8th edition Warhammer event. The day of the tournament came, and it was horrible. He got smashed in every single game. It was all too much. Oggy was ready to give in. He'd had enough. He didn't want to play this silly game anymore. It was going to be an epic rage quit. And then the voices started.
Oggy, embrace the filth. Oggy, embrace the filth.
It was like a switch had been flipped. Oggy was a new gamer. He headed straight to the Og Games web store, oggames.co.uk, and he created his armies of mass destruction. And the best thing was, they were all at 15% off. So head on over to oggames.co.uk, where you can get anything you need from the Games Workshop universe at 15% off. They also have a huge range of products that can satisfy all your wargaming needs. That's oggames.co.uk. Okay, welcome back. We're going to get into our South Coast GT coverage. So, first and foremost, Ben, give us a rundown of what the South Coast GT is, who runs it, where it is, that sort of thing.
It's ran by Mr. Dan Heelan, Wayne Kemp, and Russ Veal down in sunny Portsmouth.
So it's been running, what, 3 years
Third
now?
year.
This was SCGT3.
Yeah.
And it came on from nowhere, didn't it, basically? Big,
I think it came from the lack of tournaments down that sort of end of the country. I think Dan was sick of travelling up to us, so they decided to put one on.
Yeah, and straight away, 100 players.
Yep.
Biggest event the UK had ever seen, I think, or maybe it was close.
No, I don't think it was it? Because they
Independent, so we were
had
talking
some
about as well.
dropouts. Didn't crack the 100 the
I think
first year, did they?
the WPS GT previously had ran at close to 100. South Coast ran pretty close to 100, and then the Warlords came the same year, didn't they?
That's
They
right,
ran
yeah.
at similar sort of numbers. Following year, they ran at close to 160, was it?
Yep.
And then this year again, 160-ish, and ended up with like just shy of 150 by the end of the weekend with a few dropouts and whatnot. So, good weekend,
Yes.
in summary.
Yes. Brilliant.
Yeah. Again, I think everything you'd want from a tournament was included. The only
Yep.
thing maybe you'd add in was a bit more Saturday night activities.
Yeah, I mean, there's scope for Saturday night activities.
I think they've been looking into it next year as well.
The problem is, from I imagine Dan's point of view, is if you spend money to do these things and people don't want to, they just want to go for a curry or to the pub or home, then you're stuck, aren't you?
Yeah.
And you can also go, well, we'll do stuff for 40, 50 people, and then you get 100 people who want to stop and do it. There's no real way of gauging it until the Saturday night.
Yeah, unless you
As
sell
such as
tickets.
Yeah.
But it's difficult then.
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah. Then it starts getting difficult. But yeah, the ideas that they're thrown about would be very cool.
So South Coast was 6 games.
6 games.
Minimal comp, wasn't there?
Could have done with being 5.
I'd have took 5, it's just fine.
Yeah, I would as well.
No, I did like it being 6.
So 6 games is good. I mean, we're coming from where we live. It's a late night at home.
But it's a late night anyway.
Well,
isn't
yeah,
it?
whether it's 5 games or 6 games. Me wanting 5 games was just because I was dying.
So yeah, the comp was just pretty much as it was the last couple of years.
Yeah, pretty minimal.
Take out the top, just take the edge off everything, stop the silliness and that sort of thing. Still got pretty nails armies.
Oh, yeah.
There's some horrendous stuff there still. We was talking about this on the
but
way
again,
down.
it was, some of the double rares were banned, so double A bombs, double tanks.
Yeah, I mean,
that
there was
sort of
never any intention for there not to be hard armies.
No.
Just to stop
Just
the
stops the
really
stupid,
daft
doesn't
stuff.
it? Yeah. No power scroll, no folding fortress, no scenarios, which was quite an interesting one. I
Yeah,
thought.
so we'll get into that now. What did you think to that?
Didn't notice, to be honest with you, while I was playing.
You know?
No. I like the scenarios, don't get me wrong. I'm just not sure how to make them work the best at a tournament.
I do like the fact that some tournaments use them, some don't, and some change them up a bit.
Yes.
I do like the variety.
But then the problem we get with that is, especially if you do a lot of tournaments, is it changes every fortnight.
Yeah, but
do you know what I mean?
It keeps your armies different as well.
Yeah,
doesn't it?
that's
'Cause
true. That's true.
Otherwise, your armies get all the same. Mm-hmm. What works in a pitched battle might not necessarily work if you've got different victory conditions.
Yeah.
Different. Yeah.
I think one of the big problems that people have got with them is some of the lesser armies really struggle
With scenarios.
with the scenarios.
Yeah.
Which is a shame, because if it was the other way round, I think it'd be great for the scene.
If the lesser armies got improved by the scenarios.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you mean, but it's difficult, isn't it? At the end of the day.
Oh, yeah. It's mightily difficult.
The good armies are good because they're so flexible and they can adapt.
And they're all 5s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, so what did you take? I think we ran through this already. Skaven, wasn't it?
Skaven,
Generic
yeah.
Skaven.
Yeah, which, to be honest with you, I thought was pretty middle of the road. Not weak by any stretch of the imagination, but certainly not top end.
Was there anything you didn't fancy facing going into it?
Vampires.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
vampires.
Vampires I'm not a fan of. And warriors to an extent as well. The small elite warriors I'm quite happy about. But like Matt Howley, who came up with us, his warrior army, which was like 100
Just
marauders,
knights. Oh, right.
knights, hell cannon, and wizards, was like,
Yeah.
holy shit. The small elite armies I'm quite fine with.
Yeah, you just
But
shoot
it's
them in
the- yeah.
13th.
Yeah, it's the blocks of marauders that cause me some problems.
Okay.
Other than that, not really all that fuss. Lizardmen maybe, because I've not really played them a lot. There's no one really our sort of way pushing them about much, is
No,
there?
yeah, I know what you mean. Okay.
But other than that, no, fine.
I took my list from Swiss cheese. Basically, big Corsair block, Blackguard, Warriors. Yeah. There's a 7 dice limit on the Mind Razor this weekend.
Yeah,
Didn't make a difference to me. Didn't
made a difference to me because one of my opponents rolled 8.
nice. Yeah, I don't know what I didn't fancy. I don't know. Didn't fancy the Skaven. Some really, really good Skaven lists. I don't know. Don't like them. Do bad things to the Corsairs.
They really do.
Didn't fancy. What else didn't fancy? Didn't fancy really facing Jack Armstrong. Not so much. Not so much his army. Just Jack frightens me.
You know what? He'll be running along the road right now with a right smile on his face hearing that.
He was going for the 400. He's won 3 events with a maximum hundreds. He's going for the 400 for his rankings. Big score. So yeah, I knew he'd be on form. And the Lizardman is a tough matchup in general for me. I know a lot of Lizardman players say the Dark Elves are tough, but it's it's tough both ways.
Yeah.
If you make any mistakes, you're going to lose. So yeah, that was it. I mean, we went down Friday, bit of a road trip, wasn't we? Got out of work early, and it was myself, you, Matt, and Wildman. Rocked up at about 6 o'clock? Earlier, maybe.
No, about 5.
Yeah,
no, even earlier than that. In fact, we left at 12:30. I think we got there about 4:30.
Yeah, about three and a half hour drive, wasn't it? So I got a game in against Mark Wildman with his Beastman on the Friday night because. Basically, there's a few people milling around looking for a game, and I'd got one booked with Ben Diesel later on in the night.
Yep.
But it was like I said, Mark, you fancy one? Well, we're both waiting around, so yeah, we went at it. Mark was using Beastman. You heard his take on the Beastman on the episode we did about a month or so ago. And he was running a similar build to what he recommended there. So big gore block, big beast gore block, a death level 4. A Beast Lord and a few other bits and bobs. So I want to add to Mark's Beastman recommendations. He says a death level 4 is the way to go. I wholeheartedly disagree. It did nothing. Played him twice over the weekend. We'll get into the other game later on, but both games it did pretty much nothing.
Oh dear.
He rolled Purple Sun, so I baseline the Cauldron. All my characters stayed out of range of his death snipes at all times. And I don't need my characters for the army to work. I
don't rate Death Magic.
It just did nothing. No, don't rate it at all.
Do you know what I mean? Even playing against it with the Skaven, I've never played it, and it's beaten me. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know. Some armies rely on the characters a lot, and when the characters get taken out,
what, like the Skaven?
I don't think the Skaven do really. Just the Seer. That's it.
And the BSB kind of helps.
Yeah, but
and so do the engineers.
You don't really rely on them. The engine, maybe.
I don't know. You can. Once the guy with the doom rocket shot his load, yeah, you can kill him.
Yeah, turn one. You know you're facing death magic. You shoot it first turn.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
No, like I say, I've not played it, and I've gone bloody hell. I've lost that game because he struck death magic.
Yeah. Well, I didn't rate it much, and don't get me wrong. It forced me to put my characters at the back of the board. But it didn't really affect me.
Is that enough, though, maybe?
No.
I don't think so.
No. I mean, I don't know. If I'd have been forced to take any break tests, I'd have had no BSB, no Leadership 10, because I got the +1 leadership on the Warrior block. So I don't know, but I went into combats which I knew I'd win, which you're forced to when you know you've not got your rerolls. Come to about the middle of the game, I'd managed to deal with his chariots. My Pegasus rider had done that, and Pit of Shades or whatnot. No, Pit of Shades didn't. We'll get to that at the end of the write-up as well. Pit of Shades.
Okay.
So, I'd managed to stop him being able to combo charge me with the blocks and the chariots, and it was like midpoint of the game, I can either sort of back off, or I had the option of marching the Blackguard past his big gore unit as well and threatening his beast to go. And Mark said, I'm going to nip to the loo. And I was like saying to him, what should I think? Should I go for it? Should I do this? I'm like, this is a sensible option. Should walk past there, redirect these, conga line the Blackguard, so he couldn't get the Blackguard. And I did, in the end, it was like, well, I'll go for the conga line the Blackguard, held the gore up for a turn. And that was a turn where I decided what to do with the Corsairs. Either march them past his gore block or charge in. And I was like, I shouldn't be charging there, not in a million years. And it's like, forget it. Let's see what happens. It's the Friday night. We'll see what goes in.
Can you see where this is going, listeners?
Corsairs went in and just got splattered. Absolutely splattered.
What? No Mind Racer?
I didn't roll it.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Mark was jumping around like a little girl.
Why did you charge with no Mind Razor?
Because I wanted to know if Withering was enough. I wanted to know if you could do it without it. What I did find out was they run in, they all die over 2 rounds. However, they kill enough gore, means the Blackguard can then deal with them. Because the Blackguard were in a Conga, once the Corsairs had gone, I could do the combat reform, because I'm stubborn, even though I lost by a lot.
Yeah.
I'm still doing my swift reform test, my combat reform test on a 9. They expanded across his front, a bit of the old Withering for minus toughness, whatever, make him hit me on 5s with a miasma. Even though he had the blackened plate with full ward on all his unit, I still managed to get rid of him and got his general in the end as well. So, yeah, it's quite. In fact, the Shades did it in the end. He broke the Blackguard. They ran off, and the Shades went in with killing blow on him and took the Cowards out. And there's like half a dozen Gores left, so finished a lot. Big win in the end, so quite good about that. The key was I found out what the Gore block can do.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure how the Corsairs would go, so I threw them in, and found out they die horribly. But it's a noble sacrifice because it means the Blackguard can go finish, or the Hydra, or the Shades with extra attack, extra hand weapon, and whatever. So yeah, good game, enjoyable game. We didn't add it up. Mark didn't want to. He got nothing off me, like 55 points or something.
Did he not get a Peg Rider? Were you not bitching about that?
Might have been.
Did he not fly into a tree?
Might have done. I don't know. Can't remember on the Peg Rider.
I seem to remember you bitching. Oh, he'd have got nothing off me if that stupid Peg Rider hadn't died.
That happened twice this weekend.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good game, good fun. And then, did you play any on the Friday night?
I was supposed to play Andy Spears. We've got a game arranged to play at 5. He didn't turn up till about 7:30 because his missus was sick. And by that point, I'd
had a skinful,
a pizza and some beer, and just really couldn't be bothered to.
You had a wander around though, didn't you? What did you see?
I had a good wander around, chat with a few people, just looking at people's armies, playing games, counting spiders. There's lots of spiders.
A lot, wasn't there?
Yeah,
There's a couple double as well.
Yeah, there was a double spider wyvern list.
Nice.
Which I don't think did very well, but must have been fun.
Got some mileage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was nice. Having chat to some people that you obviously don't get to see too often.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I played another game, and it was quite a spectacle as well. We had quite an audience.
Yeah, I watched this as well,
and it was me versus the Diesel. So
Diesel,
talk to us a bit about Ben Diesel for the listeners that don't know.
Oh, he's a lovely lad. He's
a gentle giant.
He's a gentle giant with funny facial hair. Bless him.
So Ben is a member of the Black Sun, and these boys, for no apparent reason, decided to make his life hell.
They just sort of took it upon themselves one day a few years ago
to make him a celebrity,
to turn him into Mr. Warhammer.
And they also tried to arrange him a game against me, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm up for that. I'll play him." To which his reply was, "Oh, I'm going to get battered." And so we lined up. It was quite a crowd, and I got the first turn, deployed my Shades to shoot his Bloodthirster, and bit of this, bit of that.
This was awesome.
Then it was Diesel's go. So, I mean, we've got full coverage of this. We've got videos. We've got loads of recordings from the night.
Out of interest, why did you leave the Shades within 22 inches when they shoot 24? What do we always tell the listeners? If you don't want them to charge, stay out of 22.
Kind of want him to charge. In fact, I think I measured so he would be in the 6 because I thought he's stupid enough to go for it and he'll just fail and get to shoot him again for free.
How'd that work out?
He charged.
He charged. There was a cheer. Shades died.
I said, yeah. In summary,
yeah.
So I said I should run, and everyone's like, "Yeah, you should run." So it'd be funny if he charged though, wouldn't he? He's never going to roll it. But it would be funny. Says, "You know what, Ben? I'm going to hold because it's all about the story. If you get in, it'll be awesome." So that was it. Everyone was like, "Oh, yeah!" There's a big cheer went up. Everyone in the hall, like who wasn't around this table, sort of stopped and looks like, "What's going on over there?" Ben Diesel bouncing up and down, waving his arms back because his Bloodthirster's got in on his 6 charge.
No, it wasn't. Diesel wasn't jumping up and down. Chris was jumping up and down. Diesel just moved his thirster in.
Yeah, got you. Yeah. And I thought I could be in trouble here. It's like,
mate, he'd have smashed you. Apart from he fucked it up.
Yeah, if he chased the one Shade.
Yeah, he chased the Shade rather than combat reforming.
If he'd done his reform, turned to face the flank of my army while I had no line of sight at him, I'd have been in a spot of bother. You know what I mean? I've still got.
You've been in a spot of bother.
He couldn't charge a unit because they'd have all been steadfast on a 10, and then Mind Razor the next turn. But it means I'd turn my army to face the Bloodthirster, the Fiends come running up. as it was, the Fiends fought the Corsairs. Corsairs took them out. The
It means that
flew around
it
for a
means
bit.
you can charge either the Fiends or the Thirster in the second round, rather than them having to sit there for 2 rounds before the
Yeah.
Thirster comes in the third time.
Yeah,
I think you'd have been in trouble.
I think I would as well. As it was, Life Taker was golden because I withered him for -3 toughness.
Yeah.
Killed his herald about the same turn as well, like turn 2. So he couldn't. He wasn't rolling big enough on his Winds of Magic to stop the withering. So it was in for play for like 3 turns or something. I just kept shooting him with Life Taker, wound a turn sort of thing, and in the end, he was just in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Pegasus Rider got him in the end, charged him with an extra attack on him and killed him. Yeah, it was a good game, and it could have gone either way. And it was just like, literally, I chucked everything forward. And it's like, everyone's like, cool, you don't normally play like this. I was like, it's fine, fucking no. You know what I mean? What, I want to know if the Corsairs can beat the Demonites, beat the Fiends.
Yeah.
So we went for that one, stood an inch away from the front of him. Didn't even cast magic on him, because if I had mind raised him, he wouldn't charge. But then, yeah, it was a good game. Enjoyed it. But got a win. Good win in the end, so that was good. Didn't lose. Kept my reputation intact. Well, yeah, that was. It was quite a spectacle, wasn't it? A lot of people.
It was,
chatting and
again,
hanging around. It was all good fun.
I bet there was 60 people. I mean, I'm sure we commented on this last year that there was more people down on a Friday night than there is at a lot of regular tournaments.
Yeah.
It's great. Do you know what I mean? Great.
A lot of games going on.
I think a lot of that is down to the fact that it is so far for most people.
Yeah, so everyone travels for the Friday.
Yeah, driving down Saturday morning is not really that much of an option.
No. So yeah, that was the Friday night. Mm-hmm. So we rocked up Saturday morning, and all the way down in the car, I've been saying I don't want to play Dom Hulk. He's got the Skaven Army from hell.
It is a lovely Skaven Army.
Didn't know exactly what was in it, but I'd got some idea. It was pretty similar to his Swiss cheese list.
Yeah, which was a thing of absolute beauty.
Yeah, it was pretty filthy. It was all the toys you could possibly want in a Skaven army, and that was who I was drawn against. How about you? Who did you end up facing?
I ended up playing a chap called James, who's a New Zealander, but he's sort of down London way, so he's part of the odd Games Massive.
I played James at Swiss Cheese, the last 7th edition event, I think it was. Demons versus Mad Dark Elves.
That wouldn't have been Swiss Cheese, then,
Not
surely.
Swiss Cheese. Summer Incursion.
Got you.
Last year's Summer Incursion. First game. But anyway, go on.
It was a lovely story. Thank you for that.
It's all right.
It was amazing.
Yeah. I'm full of them. Here or now. Try the veal.
So,
Waitress.
yeah, I played James, who had Bretonnians. And I was talking to him at the start, like, I have not played Bretonnians for... I couldn't remember the last time I played Bretonnians. So I was very unsure as what to do. He'd got level 4, Lord on a Peg, Hero on a Peg, BSB, and a level 2. Level 4 went on Beasts, level 2 went on Life, and just took regen, basically. A couple of Lancers, 1 big realm, 1 smaller realm, 1 Grail. He had no errants, which I was quite surprised about. 2 small realm. 4 Peg Knights, some skirmishing bowmen, 40 peasant dudes.
Peasant dudes.
Is that what they're called?
You mean men at arms?
Men at arms, they're the fellas. And a trebuchet.
Is that 40 in one unit?
40 in one unit, yeah. So they got scorched.
Did they run away?
They did, yeah.
Did they ever valley?
No.
Oh, wicked.
They kept going. I sort of deployed quite defensively because I didn't really know what to do. I couldn't 13th anything. I didn't know what to do. It's rubbish.
Is that it? That's your normal
yeah.
plan? 13 stuff.
It's not the plan, but it's like, well, if anything, if all else fails, I'll chuck 6 dice at 13th. It'd be fine. And it's like, I can't even do that. The big one was the Plague Furnace. Didn't know what the big bus of knights would do to the Plague Furnace.
Was the Lord in there?
No, the Lord was on the peg.
Right.
Oh, the Lord was flapping around going, Abomination, come here, I'm going to cut your head off.
Killing blow.
Yeah, which he did. Bastard.
Eventually.
Yeah. But I figured that was going to happen, so he sort of went quite out on a flank.
Try and draw the leadership away.
Draw the general away a bit. Just keep him away for the Plague Furnace as well. And a little bonus of that was I managed to get his Peg Knights because James wanted to bring them round to get the Warp Lightning Cannon. They had to bring them within, I think the closest you could get was about 12 away from the Abominations. I thought, you know what, sod it, give it a go.
Yeah.
Like 16, bang, they all died.
So back to this bus versus furnace. Can I have a guess what happens?
Go on then. I
Okay.
bet you £1 you don't get it.
Oh, that sounds daft now. I think they run in and then realise they need, like, 4s to hit or something, or 3s to hit and 4s to wound, and then they find out they can't do it good.
What actually happens is you both sit 18 inches apart and the Skaven army shoots you with his templates. And all the knights die. That's what happens.
Did you not just fancy shoving your furnace at him?
No. I was shooting with my templates and then shove my furnace at him.
Okay. Makes a change.
Best of both worlds. No, like I said, I was really unsure, and what I didn't want was them to go in, stick, and then get the peg guy coming in at the same time.
Yeah.
If the peg guy came in on his own, I was fine with that because I had a champion, take the challenge away. Do you know what I mean? Keeps it alive for a little bit longer. What I didn't want them was to go in together. So I kept them back and made sure that he chased around the abomination, because he charged the peg knights, went off the board, came back on, kept him out of the way. That was basically all he did, apart from eat warp landing cannon. Warp landing cannon to the face.
Kill him.
Oh yeah,
Oh, nice.
dead.
We'll save that bitch.
Yeah, and the rest of it was just like I say, just sniping off here, sniping off there. Poison wind mortar, cannon, catapult, bit of warp lightning. A couple of knights a turn. Block them up with some shit and done. Do you know what I mean? Big win. 16-4.
16.
Yeah.
Okay, good stuff. Well, like I say, I played Dom. Oh, go on.
We had a rules question during this game.
Right, go for it.
Wrote it down. Can a character join a unit that's failed a charge?
Yeah?
Apparently so.
Yeah. It's daft now, because by the rules, you go, characters can join
Yep.
units.
There's just nothing about
Yeah.
him not being able to. It just describes how he joins a unit.
Yeah. Join a unit in the remaining moves phase. Then there's no caveat that says you can't join one that hasn't charged. There's some stuff about you can't leave them in certain situations.
Yes.
But nothing the other way around.
That was where we got one of our ticks from the old bingo from. In 7th edition, it worked like that.
Okay, run us down what the Og Bingo is.
Og Bingo, we've done it for the past couple of years at South Coast GT. Done it a few others as well. It's either us or it's Ollie and the boys doing it. Bingo ticket. I can't remember giving any money this year, so I don't know if there's a prize or if it
Might
was
not
just
have been.
for
Well, I
fun.
think they just did it for fun. I think last year we did it for money because we chucked a load of money for prizes. And
That's right, yeah.
yeah.
So we've got, obviously, no charges. So, turn 1, obviously no charges. If you play Beastmen or Tomb Kings, if your opponent's using Unseen Lurker, if your opponent shouts, Mind Ranger, if he's got 200 slaves, if he's got a buxom girlfriend, a table away from Ben Diesel, if he smells somewhat bad, if you play someone in a metal T-shirt, a slan without life, nothing bigger than 40 by 40, so no big gribblings.
That was a good one.
That is a good one. And it's actually not as easy as you think. I did get it in the first game, but yeah, still. In 7th edition, 3 marks corn, if your opponent concedes, and if your wizard double ones the miscast.
Well, 4.
Sorry, yeah, something to avoid, you know what I mean. So we've had a quick count of this, and I reckon I got 8.
Yeah, see, I'd not seen it. I knew it was flapping about, and you've just showed it me. And I reckon I got 10, which is quite impressive.
No, 9. We said it was
Oh,
9.
9. We've scribbled one off, haven't we?
So I don't know who won,
Don't know.
but anyway, tangent.
I wish I'd been playing that. Seems like good fun.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, so my game 1, I played the Dom Hawk, Snoop Dom on Twitter. So if you want to follow him on Twitter, yeah, quite worried about this. He had a load of deployments as well, like 3 little rat packs and things like that. So you know what I mean. Bad times.
Really nice army.
Yeah, he got the furnace. Not quite as many men in his furnace unit, and he wasn't running it in horde, so I could fight it. Which I did.
See, that's the thing, though. To get the extra gutter runners, the extra toys, you've got to lose the unit sizes.
Yeah,
Which
definitely.
is the only.
He had
the only
no
drawback.
weapons teams, so a bit less shooting than yours.
Yeah.
But he did have the 18 gutter runners, which I think probably cost him the game because he lost them early on. So, I mean, my deployment, obviously he out-deployed me massively, so I go in the middle of the table if my opponent's got a lot more deployments than me. 12 inches in with the Blackguard, the Corsairs and the Warriors, the Wizard Spearman bunker, 12 Spearmen just behind. As was a theme that ran through the tournament, I lost the roll-off of scouts, so I had to put my scout unit down first. Or I won the roll-off of scouts, should I say. So I had to put a scout unit down first, which made it a pain, so I just put them both in my deployment zone near my cauldron and my level leadership 10. And then Dom, I think this is where I made his mistake. He put one unit in a building, which was within 20 of the Hydra, 20 being the magic number because it moves 12, breathes 8, so it was like 19 inches away from the Hydra. And the second unit was on my left flank in my deployment zone, which people can't resist. Oh, deployment zone, I'll get them in there. It's like, fine, I'm going to turn my shades around, shoot you, I'm going to life take you, I'm going to park my Pegasus away from you. I got both units. I killed 5 out of 9 with a Hydra breath. And I think I life taker the building as well to kill another one with life taker. And the ones on the left flank I got with 1 dice in my first magic phase. Saved 1 dice from a missile. Got a 1d6 strength 4. Killed 3 and panicked them off. And before he'd moved, he had 3 gutter runners left. Okay. The ones in the building could have been behind the building. That was a mistake. The ones in the deployment zone, you know what I mean? He knew I saved a dice. He chucked his dice at other stuff. But then he's like chucking things.
But then you've got to play the odds, haven't you? Do you know what I mean? If you've got 1 dice left to cast a magic missile, a third of the time you fail it no matter what because of your loss of concentration. If it's only a single dice, you've got to kill 3 of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Strength 4, you're winning on 3s. They've got 6 up save. Then he's even if you do, he's panicking 50% of the time.
Regardless, I had the Pegasus Rider flew over there. They were never going to do anything but he'd tied the Pegasus Rider up. So Dom did his normal Skaven shuffle. Furnace came forward a bit.
Skaven shuffle, I like that.
Basically, move. It used to be.
Do I do that?
It used to be moved to 15 inches and unleash hell. And now it's sort of moved to 18 inches and unleash hell. Or 24, I think. 18 for the rattling guns, we don't see them so much. No. 24 is, I think, the magic number now.
Yeah, 13 range.
Or 18, just outside of charge ranges. Yeah. And not a lot happened, really. I think I used my... Oh, it's fucking 13th. I used my scroll to stop the 13th. He cast it, like, every turn. Just every turn. Until I was in combat with his army. And then... He stopped casting it because there's nothing to cast it at, and he reached the casting value every time. No, and it's horrible because it's like I diced it twice. Yeah. He got it off once later on my Blackguard, just as I was about to get a charge in. He warped lightning them, I had to let it off, killed 2, and then killed another 14 with a 13. So there's 4 of them which turned around and ran for the hills. Basically, what the game came down to was I killed his abominations just. In magic and shooting. Yeah. That went down pretty quick. He went down, turned the Storm Banners up. I think it was 2 units of shades was opposite it. Storm Banner went up, and I had the choice of moving back and shooting it on 7s or staying where I am and hitting it on 5s in short range. And I was like, right, we'll just wither it, we'll shoot it, we've got Life Taker and everything. Everything went into it. In the end, Life Taker took his last wound, which was quite... But the withering was in, I think.
They're not that resilient.
No. Came down to, on the left flank, the Furnace. I charged it in the flank with my Pegasus Rider, pin it there, and then charged the front with the Corsairs. I killed a load. He put his Plague Banner up, killed a load back. I think I won combat. After a few rounds, I'd killed enough, so it was just getting the grind going, you know what I mean? Yeah. I wasn't losing many for gas. I was quite lucky on my gas test with Corsairs early on, when it didn't really matter, really. And later on, he killed a load all in one go, and he also killed the Pegasus Rider outright with gas in one go.
Yeah.
D6 gas test, 5, and on toughness 3... toughness 3, I failed...
you take it on both units, yeah?
Yeah,
okay.
I failed 3.
Yeah.
And it was gone, dead. So... that was the turn. I also killed all the Plague Monks, but the Corsairs ran off. One Corsair ran through my army. He couldn't get it, and it came down to last turn. I did a 9 to stay. 9. If I rolled less than 9 for my flee, I'd stay on the table. I rolled the 9, went off the table. Probably deserved to, but that was annoying because that was a Corsair unit, 375 points, and the Pegasus Rider was 200 points. So the only points he got off me. If I'd have passed the test, the turn If I'd have passed one of the toughness tests, I think I'd have killed the furnace that turn because it was withered. It had -3
Yeah.
toughness, and I'd got 5 strength 4 attacks into it. I only had 2 wounds left.
Fair chance.
As it was, the shades just shot it down the next turn.
That plague furnace needs an armor save.
Oh, yeah, needs a ward save on the rider, but it's hard getting it in.
No, the whole thing needs a ward save. That'd be better.
But yeah, it was a good, tough game. A lot of, I mean, it sounds like it was an easy win because I lost the Corsairs, lost the Pegasus ride, and that's all I lost. But the Blackguard, there was only 4 of them left.
Yeah.
The Shades were both fucked. It's like nothing left of
Yeah.
either, or they were in the corners just hiding away.
Well, have you noticed that, though? That's the weird thing with Warhammer nowadays. You can smash the crap out of each other, but because one guy's got 2 men out of that unit, 1 man out of that unit, 3 men out of that unit, you get no points.
Yeah, well, I got the warp lining cannon, got that with the Harpies. I got the Abomination from shooting. I got the Furnace in combat, I think. Finished it off with shooting. But he didn't really have any combat stuff.
No.
So,
No, once you take especially if he's only got the smaller furnace unit.
yeah, so because he'd not got no combat, he couldn't really get points off me. Or he couldn't, the points that he tried to get, he couldn't make stick. He only had the magic to rely on. Once I was in combat, he couldn't use that. The Blackguard, as soon as I saw they were going to go down, I turned them around and started running them back. They were soon out of range. So, yeah, I got a big win in the end. It was 16-4. So I think I got about 1,000 odd points and won by about 900 for the 16-4. But good game. It was tight. Some things that came up, which I think Dom learned, and a lot of Skaven players learned after facing my Hydra. The rats, they always run the rats forward to block my units, and then they don't realise that when you charge with a Hydra, take a terror test straight away. And what you can do is charge one, terror, charge another, terror, and you get rid of two redirectors with one Hydra, and they don't see it coming that the shit screen gets cleared pretty quickly when it wanders away from the general. I think Dom fell for that one.
There's not really a lot you can do about that, though.
Well, don't rely on the one unit to block up a...
You can't... Yeah, but then from what you've just said there, you need 3.
Don't leave them in charge arc of the Hydra.
Yeah, but again,
it's just something that Skaven players... I've noticed a lot on Skaven players tend to sucker to it a lot.
I don't think you've done it to me yet.
I think I have.
No. Hydra's normally dead. Warp
Yeah.
Lining Cannon first turn.
Warp Lining Cannon. Yes, it is.
Mate, Warp Lining Cannon was amazing again.
Was it?
My new improved one was brilliant.
But the one you lent to Tom was rubbish.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, so he said.
Paint your own, Tom.
So we both got 16 in the first one then.
We were drawn against each other, weren't we?
Were we?
I believe so. And
that was fun.
because Dan had sorted that out prior to the tournament, he'd asked everyone to let him know what club they were in. He tried to keep them apart. The only club mates that played each other or would have played each other would have been me and you.
Right, okay.
But we'll get to that later.
Yeah. So round 2. Round 1. So I didn't cast Mind Razor. Just side note. Round 2. You're looking at me like...
Give him a medal.
You just wiped me off his shoe.
Yep.
Okay, round 2.
I played Ben, I want to say Hunter, from Team Andy Joyce.
Okay.
But
you don't know.
Didn't catch his second name. I think it's Hunter. I'm going to go with Hunter. If it's not, tough. With his high elves,
Yeah. Did you rub your hands when you saw High Elves?
I was kind of chuffed. I thought, you know what, high elves, I know what they do. I know how to play them. No problem. And I was quite pleased by this because I was feeling a little bit rough at this point. Again, we'll get onto that later. So Ben had 2 units of bowmen, unit spearmen, unit white lions, unit of not swordmasters. What's the other dudes? The quiet ones that are scary.
Phoenix Guard.
Phoenix Guard.
They scare you with their
Yeah.
silence.
Scare you with the silence. A level 4, a level 2, and a BSB. I just lined it up, shoved it forward.
You had a big furnace charge, didn't you?
Oh, the furnace charge, yeah.
Because you were on the table next to me.
Yeah, we were on the tables next to each other. The Abomination had just bombed forward, and Ben had got this plan. He was thinking of charging it with the Phoenix Guard, which, to be honest with you, I think is probably about the best thing he could have done. I said this to him. I says, if you're relying on magic to try and take it out, he'd done a wound to it, so he had 5 wounds left. If you're relying on magic to take it out, it's not going to happen. I'm going to chuck. I've got my scroll and I've got whatever dice.
And it's got magic resistance too.
It's got magic resistance too. you've got 2 fire spells. You've got Burning Gaze. Sorry, you've got 1 fire spell. You've got Burning Gaze twice and Banishment. I says I'm going to scroll one of them. I'm going to chuck all my dice at the other, and that gives you 1 to potentially do some damage to it.
With a 5 at ward.
With a 5
So
at
for
ward.
6.
Or if it's Banishment, it's 4 at ward, 4 at regen. I says I don't think that's such a good idea. I think charging it with Phoenix Guard is...
Why 4 region against Banishment?
Because Banishment's not flaming.
Are you talking about your Abomination?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about your Furnace.
No. Abomination.
Got you. Go. Fine.
I
You did say Furnace.
Yeah. Did
You
that?
said
Oh,
Furnace.
Abomination. Sorry, Abomination. This was his plan, and he was saying he was going to cast magic out. I says, okay, fine. He then, so after talking himself out of not charging it, he then moved everything in his army and then wheeled his White Lions with all the wizards in past the Abomination into quite an easy charge range of the Plague Furnace. And I looked at it and my eyes went... and he went, what?
Poker face.
No, and obviously it wasn't very poker face because he went, what? I says, dude, you've just 20-0'd yourself. It's like, what? I says, your plan was to magic the Abomination. You've moved out of line of sight and in like a 7 charge of the Plague Furnace. Oh, shit. Moves it back. I'm like, oh my God, this is ace. So yeah, he moves that back, does some magic, doesn't do anything, and then the A-bomb goes in and makes mincemeat out of...
Makes sweet loving.
Yeah.
Numerous elves.
The thing is, again, you go in, you've got impact hits, thunderstorm, plus your attacks.
Kills a
It kills a
bazillion.
bucket of them. I think that he'd have been much better charging me. Doesn't get the impact hits. Gets to do some fighting.
+1 for charging.
+1 for charging. Also, as well, it means that the following turn, I blocked it all up with rats as well.
Yeah.
Any of the support. So yeah, I don't think he did the best thing there. And then in my turn, I declared a charge on the spearman, which he pushed forward a bit, which he declared flee from. So like, oh right, okay. No, sorry, might have been Bowman actually. But anyway, I said, oh, see how far I am to redirect. Measures, and the spearmen were, 11 inches away. And needed an 11 for. Oh, that's a long way. How far are those white lines away? Oh, they're an 11 as well. We'll give that a go. Oh, 11. And because of the angle of it,
It looked like a mile.
It did,
on a
yeah.
7th ed charge.
yeah, because the Plague Furnace was in front of you, the white lines were sort of offset it, if that makes sense. So with the wheel, the forward, the close the door, it went 2 foot. Do you know what I mean? And that was pretty much it then.
Yeah.
He did catch me out with one thing though. I lost so many attacks because his level 4 that was on one end, because he's only 7 wide. I'm 10 wide. His level 4 was on one end. His BSB was on the other. His BSB challenges the champion, who trundles over. So that sort of, the 2 files there couldn't fight. The 2 files on the left-hand side couldn't fight because his level 4 was ethereal. So yeah, lost a lot of attacks. So didn't go through them in the first go, basically. Stuck around for a bit, but then gas, wrecking ball, smashing,
Ruin.
yeah. So
Nice. So big win.
that was 20-0, yeah. 376 to 2,535.
Very
Sorry, Ben.
good. Was this the game where we found the terrain? Well, I got
This
summoned.
was the game where we found the train, yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
there was some absolutely awesome terrain on one of the tables. If you want to hear more about it, you're going to have to sign up for the Snake Eyes section now.
Well-
because there's videos.
There's videos. He got a special mention at the end, but I think he got to give him credit for trying.
Yeah. Well, we've got videos and we'll talk about that on Snake Eyes.
Okay.
But yeah, so I was playing Al Thompson, table miles away from anywhere, even though we'd both won 16-4 wins.
20-odd.
Yeah. Seemed like miles away, but maybe it wasn't.
160
Russell
people,
says to
though.
me, oh, you've snuck up from nowhere, man. I was like, well, I was on table 59 randomly, first one. Then I was on table 20-something. Then I was on table 7. And it's like...
Yeah, but if you're on
just-
even if you're on table 25,
It seems like miles away.
that's still top third. after one game, which
Yeah.
a 16-4 win is about top third.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I played out. Al had pretty standard...
Thank God I didn't have to play him.
Pretty standard vampire list, which... Out of all the lists that were there, the vampire ones seemed dull as dishwater. I think the problem is they've only got one build which they've got one build which works really, really well. So all the vampire players play that one build.
I don't even think it's that.
And then the rest of them don't work so well, so no one plays them.
No, I don't think it's that. I think they've got one build and one play style which works really well. And that's what they do.
Yeah.
And if you want to do well with it, there's no variation. I mean, I was talking to Paul Brown and saying, because he got the standard build. I was like, do you not find it boring? He's like, well, I could see how it could be boring, but if you push it all forward 8 inches every turn, it's quite good fun.
Fair enough.
So
well, I got Al, and he had... it was a bit different, actually, a little bit different. Well, it's the same as ever. You get 2,000 points. 2,000 points, which are exactly the same.
Yeah.
And instead of the Black Coach...
Yeah. So it's Wraith's Black Coach of Argulf, combination of the two. Of the three,
Instead of the Black Coach, he had the Blood Knights.
Yeah.
I kind of think he sort of lost the game on deployment. Whether he lost it big or little was...
That's a bit rough.
He put his knights out on one flank, like on my extreme right, and I put my shades sort of in his deployment zone and to the, you know what I mean, just 13 inches away from the flank of the knights, and there's only 4 of them, and they're 200 points. You know what I mean? It's 11-9 win just for shooting the knights and then disappearing. Yeah. And once I've killed them, I'm 200 points up. My shades are under no pressure. I've not, you know what I mean? I don't have to do anything. I can sit and shoot him, and he's got to come to me. As it was, I moved forward aggressively from the start. Started chucking big fireballs at his wraiths, which he didn't like.
No.
Soon ran for the hills with them. The knights went down. First turn, it was like life taken into the Graveguard, killed one. Okay, they don't regen. Mm-hmm. Shades into the Blood Knights, killed one of them as well. No flag of blood keep. We're on here. Shove it all forward. Al gave me some charges, so I was like, well, I'm going to take them. It was the Corsair. Yeah, basically, Corsairs into the Ghouls and the Blackguard into the Graveguard. And my plan was, because he had a scroll at this point still, plan was, if I don't get the Mind Razor through, the Corsair should deal with the Ghouls quick enough. Especially, I'm thinking, if he wants to...
What, without Mind Razor?
Yes.
Oh, okay. 30
Corsairs into 40 Ghouls. He can't helm them because he's got to helm the Graveguard because the Blackguard are into them.
Okay.
Blackguard are flaming as well, so I'd found out by then.
Yeah.
But I thought the Ghouls the Blackguard will tie the Graveguard up for a few turns. The Ghouls will get through the Corsairs will go through the Ghouls, and then they're putting pressure on his Lord's bunker. And at the end of the day, it's 160 player tournament. If you want to win, if you want to do well, you've got to push it.
Yep.
So did both the charges. The Corsairs he let Flaming Sword through on because I don't think he had enough dice to stop it. I rolled big on my phase. I think rolled 6 dice at. I can't remember why he let it through. He must have used his scroll. I think he did. Yes, you're right. First turn, scroll. That was it.
Didn't say anything.
Going running back in my head. I should make notes on this. This is why I pushed it. He used his scroll turn 1 to stop the magic missile into the wraiths. I think there was only 3 wraiths.
Yes.
18 fireball.
You're right, it did. I can remember that.
18 fireball, scroll, and that was it. I shoved everything straight at him. And it was like, that's the game. The scroll gone. It means when I get into combat, he can't stop my magic. And it was the turn I charged both units. He gave me both the charges, and it was only like 6 and 7. I knew that if I rolled low, I'd be up because I've got the dagger to add, and my magic will go through. If I roll high, both units get buffed. You can't stop them both. So I cast Flaming Sword first. I think I rolled like 7 or something, pretty average. Flaming Sword on 2 dice on the Corsairs. He let that go, saving dice versus dice on the Mind Razor.
Flaming Sword's +1 to wound, yeah?
+1 to wound, yeah. So I'm winning on 4s instead of 5s.
Yeah.
The Blackguard had gone into the Graveguard with extra attack on him. I took 5 dice at Mind Razor.
See what's coming.
5 dice at
Did
Mind
you see
Razor.
what's coming?
Didn't need the dagger. Got the 2 6s. He's got 5 dice.
What a guy.
He's got 6 dice there ready to stop it. And basically it was dice versus dice. I got the 2 6s. I went through the Graveguard and the Ghouls in one round. Blackguard's overran into his Lord's bunker. Right, okay, so Mindraiser for the win. However, I've got some points about this.
Hang on. That's it.
This is my book.
Stop.
Yeah, but
Game 3.
This is my bugbear over the weekend.
Game 3.
No, we need to talk about this. Didn't chuck the 10 dice. Okay?
That's because you weren't allowed.
Weren't allowed, didn't need to. I got the 2 6s when I need them. Yes, lucky. I think the Corsairs going into the Ghouls, it popped him in one go with a flaming sword on. The Blackguard would have stuck on the Graveguard for at least 2 rounds, meaning his Lord's bunker.
Are you trying to justify Mindraiser? Is that basically what you're doing?
At the end of the day, you let me charge.
Are you going to then justify it? Say, you needed to get rid of the big units.
You need it to get rid
You
of
need to roll more than that dice because of the Dark Elves.
At the end of the day, I charged my biggest unit into his biggest unit and buffed it with magic. I don't know why he let me charge. I can't understand it. I can't understand it. I just can't. And it happened every game. And my biggest unit got the charge on his biggest unit, and then the magic, whether it's Mindraiser, Withering, or even just Miasma in some cases, it just does the job. I think people need to. When 8th came out, everyone was like, "Oh, you don't need to charge." It's just all lies. You do. Like you said with the Furnace, the Abomination, you get your impact hits, you +1 for charging. You're still about charging. Definitely.
Not so sure about
It's the
that.
turn you get to buff.
Not so sure about that.
Yeah. Okay, counter argument. Just not sure and leave it at that.
No, just, you're sat here saying, yeah, you don't need to charge, or you do need to charge. I don't know. The magic's nice, being able to do that, but Abomination getting impact hits is a big difference to just getting +1 to just combat res. Do you not think?
Sorry, go on. If you charge with the Abomination,
Yeah.
you get your impact hits,
Yeah.
so you want to be charging.
Yeah.
And likewise, the High Elves, they all got always strike first, so it doesn't really matter.
No.
But if they receive the charge, they're going to get impact hits,
Yeah.
and the A-bomb gets
Yeah.
+1, so they should be charging.
Yes, in that situation. Do you know what I mean?
In most situations, it's more better to charge.
I don't know.
You get to charge, you get to buff your units on the turn you charge. Most of the big spells are all about combat now.
Yeah.
That's just my thoughts. Mindraiser. It was good fun though. It's like turn 3, all the army gone. Turn 4 maybe, by the time I'd overrun into the Lord. That's the other thing. The Lord's bunker was, I think I needed a 7-inch overrun, maybe a 6. He had 2 ethereal units, which could have got between me if I'd not made the overrun. Why is it so close? What are these vampire players? Why did they do it? It used to be like the Wood Elf players, where all the 10,000 points of characters were behind the tree man.
Yeah. That was because it was 7th edition. You couldn't see them. It was fine.
You still get your overrun. Anyway, that was my thoughts.
You get an overrun into a tree man, which never died, ever.
Okay.
Can you remember in 6th edition where you'd get people running around a hall? I've killed a tree man. I've killed a tree man.
Yeah.
Nowadays, tree man, dead.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was my game 2. I don't know. Maybe I'm giving Al a hard time, but at the end of the day,
No wrong with that.
I don't know. I got a bit of stick for getting the Mindraiser and winning through Mindraiser, but at the end of the day, my Blackguard went into his Graveguard.
Yeah. You
While his scroll was
you
gone.
hold on to that. It's fine.
I will do, mate.
Okay.
I will do. So, your game 3.
I played another Mindraiser man.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did he Mindraiser you? This was a curry list, wasn't it?
This was your list, apart from he had 2 less Corsairs and I think additional hand weapons.
Tom Cowlin, Channel 4 News Team,
That's the
played
fella.
next to me as Swiss Cheese against Adam Hall.
Yeah.
Adam had a 10-minute game against him, killed one unit, hid in the corner. So Tom sat and watched me play. So he had a good idea of what was in my army.
Yeah. It was the same.
It was fair enough. And how did you get on?
Small win, 12-8. Moves it, sort of sets up standard, really, to what I've always done. Playing you a few times with it, I kind of knew what I needed to do. It's all about, I heard this on Healing Hammer as well. It's all about sort of whittling them down so your units can beat their units. Something like that. Oh, and also putting it on the flanks. Everything goes on the flanks on that show.
What, against Skaven?
No, just generally.
Oh, right, okay.
I've been listening to Healing Hammer today, it's making me laugh.
You're an idiot.
Sorry, yeah. Yeah, so it just sort of lined up as it does. Magic shoot the Blackguard, Same with the Corsairs. Furnace block in front of whichever one he decides to push forward, a Mine Razor. And then he let Plague off.
On
Corsairs. 28 Corsairs.
that brings a tear to my eye.
Yeah.
It upsets me.
It brought a tear to his eyes as well when 18 died.
Did you not realise what it? Didn't you tell him what it did?
Yeah.
Did you say I'm casting plague? What's that do? It's just like Warp Lightning.
No.
No.
It says Plague. And he sat there and he went, so 14 should die. It can jump on, can't it? Yeah, on a 5. Okay, do it. Wherever dies, quick. So yeah, killed 18 of them.
Nice.
And then sort of sat there thinking, well,
Did he have a scroll?
he did, yeah. I think he was keeping it for 13th, I believe. Not
You killed
sure.
18 with plague. You don't need to 13th them.
Mate, this is from the weekend. Is Plague is the new
Just,
spell.
yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when you got it with 13th.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Brilliant spell. So yeah, I mean, when they died, it's like, well, actually, does that make much of a difference? Because if it extra attacks them and Mine Razors, it still fucks the world.
Yeah, of course.
So
You only need like 6 or 7 of them.
yeah. So, but then in the end, they got took out with the Plague Furnace. He blocked the furnace up with the Furies, Harpies that went into. The furnace went into them. Didn't hit the overrun. He went into me. I beat him up in the grind. Blackguard the same. Lots of magic at them. Lots of shooting at them. And then the A-bomb gets in there. And that was it really. Once they were gone, he was sort of very defensive. His shades. He put both units of shades and his Hydra and Flappy Fly Randy Man, Pegasus dude, all the way on one side. Basically just to keep the Hydra out of the Warp Lightning cannon until he got the shades round and the Peg guy round and killed it. So they did nothing, basically, all game, other than kill 190 points of War Machines, which I found very odd.
But they stayed alive.
Yeah.
Was it a Pegasus hero like mine, or was it a Dreadlord?
Hero dude.
Right.
Yeah. Stubborn hat and pendant.
That's the Dreadlord, if it's got both. Stubborn.
Oh, couldn't have been both then.
Dragon helm and pendant.
Must have been. I mean, he never got in combat, so...
Fair enough.
Actually, might not have been stubborn, because he did run away from the slaves.
Fair enough.
Slaves declared charging him from about 8 foot away. I'm going to run away. What? What? Okay.
Fair enough.
But to be fair,
No danger.
No danger at all,
Loads
because-
of rally time.
well, not even that. He didn't have enough time to
Never
run off the
fell off
board.
the board, yeah,
he had
got
like
it.
3 turns, and if he'd have 60 every time, he wouldn't have gone off the board. So, yeah. I didn't understand that one. I can get the idea of keeping them out of line of sight first turn or something like that, but all game
Yeah, fair enough.
seemed odd. Like I say, all they did was the Shades killed 2 Rat Packs and a couple of slaves, and the hero dude killed the 2 War Machines, and that was it. Yeah,
Fair
bit
enough.
of anticlimactic end.
12-8
really.
win.
Yeah, 12-8. Would have been a bit more, but we had a bit of an issue with wounds as to where wounds went, which was, I thought I'd done a wound earlier. Tom thought I hadn't. When it came to doing what I thought was the last wound on his level 2, which is 150 points, so it's basically another tournament
point, yeah.
It's like, well, I think I've done it. You don't think I've done it. I hadn't wrote it down.
There you go then.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So it's like, well, let's roll a 4 up and move on. So
Fair
we did.
enough.
Wizard stayed alive, and that was that. Cauldron, couldn't kill the Cauldron either in combat.
Never dies.
Just couldn't get enough attacks at it to get past the 4 at ward.
Yeah, and high weapon skill.
Yeah.
You're forced to it.
It's just,
Forced to wound and-
it's forced to win, 4 up save, you get 6 attacks a turn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You need to be in combat with it for 5-6 rounds. I
Yeah.
just didn't have time. And I didn't fancy putting the BSB in.
Because
on the
they've
off-
gone
on the
kill
off-
him low.
Well, yeah, but even then, on the off chance,
Saying that, the hag's strength 4, isn't it?
yeah.
Poison and everything.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, well, my game 3, like I say, moving up the tables a bit. I was on table 7 for this one. I was playing a guy called Lorenzo from the Clapham War Games Club. He was running quite a nice Lizman army, actually. He had 2 Stegodons, 2 Slans, 2 Skink Crocs units.
2 slams.
2 Scar veterans, 2 salamanders.
Did he have any men? 2 stegs, 2 slans, 2 scarvets.
Yeah.
Isn't that like 1,500 points?
2 skink crocs units, 2 salamanders, single ones, 2 units of skinks and 2 units of chameleon skinks. So nice symmetry. A life and a shadow slan.
So did he have some Saurus?
No. Life and shadow slan.
So they're both running around on their own?
No, they was putting them in skink crocs units, but if you had cannons, you could just get them.
Yeah.
Life and shadow, which I don't think was I don't know, he had 2 combat buffing slans, whereas he could have probably done with one ranged attack slan and one not so much ranged.
Not really got that much combat either, has he?
Oh, mate, the Stegodons, they've got thunder stomping impact
I
hits.
suppose.
The Scar veterans, 4 attacks at strength 5 without anything else. The skink crocs units are beasts in combat.
Maybe.
Can't attack the crocs, so you kill a few skinks,
Yeah.
and they get 9 strength, 6 attacks back. And he was like doing 7 wounds a
See,
turn.
again, it's not knowing that, not playing enough Lisbon players around here.
So, deployment, he's got loads of deployments, so I went in the middle of the board. He went opposite with pretty much everything. Thought, I don't fancy this. Need to pit at least 1 steg before I get involved. No. Just no. Every turn, cast pit on him. I think I cast pit 5 times out of 6 turns. Nope. He cast it once. Dead Hydra.
What did he do? Keep scattering, or
Keep
did he
scattering.
dodge it?
Killed a couple of skinks. I think he might have stopped it once or twice, and just no. I think it went off 3 times, and every time it scattered, it killed a couple of skinks here and there or whatnot. I managed to get all his skirmishers. He put 2 units in 1 wood on the left flank, and it turned into a stupidity wood. So I could charge them; they couldn't flee. I got his life slam fleeing at one point, but couldn't get hold of him. Shadow slams on the right flank. I managed to pin him down and get both units of shade shooting at him for 2 turns, and killed him. And then the skink crocs units sort of in the middle of the board. I got fighting them with Blackguard and Corsairs. Managed to kill 1 unit, killing loads, Corsairs up, charged in, got rid of the Scar veteran, killed a load of skinks, and he failed his steadfast test. They only leadership 7, I think, or 6. Leadership 6, I think.
6 skinks, yeah.
They went, ran them down. Well, the stegs were still a problem, because the 2 stegs charge a unit, even 30 Corsairs, you get rid of them all in 1 turn.
Yeah.
But by the sort of the last couple of turns, it was looking close. I'd lost a lot of points. I think the Peg Rider might have gone down. Maybe not. I'd lost some shades, bits and bobs here and there. Maybe not so many points gone, but my units were getting hammered. And then all of a sudden, I got a flank charge with the Warriors. Flank charge with the Warriors into the side of the second Crocs unit. Killing Blood the Scar veteran again. Broke the unit again. They ran them down. And then I got a long range charge with the Blackguard into the side of a Steg, while I also charged the front with 8 Corsairs. Just killed that. Withering went off, took 3 off its toughness, and then I got Mind Razor as well on the Blackguard. But I think it only had 3 wounds left at that point. The Withering and the Corsair attacks would have done it.
Oh, yeah.
Never mind the Blackguard just getting a double 6 charge and shit. It was I'll measure that. 2 6s I'm in. Double 6, in the go. Mind Razor as well, just showing off. And I think that took it from an 18 to just Stegon going down, took it over to the 20. So big win. I think going from a 12 to a 20 in the last sort of 2 turns.
Yeah.
But it's kind of how my army operates. I mean, it picks off. Then the units get in with the spells and off it goes. But it was looking ropey. At one point, I'm like, Christ, I'm going down here. It's the Crocs units, mate. You just can't get through them. You charge in, you kill a bazillion skinks. That was it. The first unit broke because I killed all the skinks in 2 rounds, and then they weren't steadfast, so they went because once the Croc starts coming forward, I'd got more ranks than him, and that broke them. But it's the first round, 9 attacks from Crocs, 7 dead Corsairs. Fucking hell. Second round, another 6 dead. It's oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, yeah, but that shouldn't be happening. They should only hit 4.5 times.
But it only needs to do it once. My units are decimated, and is get decimated, but he's on even with double 1s, mate. It's
14%.
It's a good chance, yeah. Nice close game. Good, really, really tight all the way through.
Nice close 20-0.
It does sound
Yeah,
really
I know,
bad, but
I
it's
know,
like,
I know.
all the way through, it's like, God, I've got to get rid of these
Yeah.
stags. My pits were missing. I'd managed to kill and blow the scar. I don't think he played the scar veterans that well. It sort of, I don't know if he saw the killing blow. I don't know if he's got experience against the Dark Elves or what. I didn't see the killing blow and taking them out. But I got both of them with killing blows
Right.
from the Cauldron. But yeah, a win's a win, 20-0. So it's quite good. Saturday night, we went out,
Yeah, we had a leisurely walk back, didn't we?
picked up my ogres.
Picked up your burgers, went for a curry just over the road from the hotel, which was really nice for like an hour.
And then about 40 war games
Yeah.
came in and turned it into just a noise box.
Yeah, another noise. We've been in a noise box all day, and we asked Dan for a curry house that was sort of off the beaten track. So we went in this one. Actually, I thought it was really nice.
Mine wasn't great, but it was all right.
I thought mine was nice. Even though I was feeling awful, I thought,
Yeah.
curry, that'll sort me out.
Did you go straight to bed after that?
No, went across to the pub for an hour or so. And
Yeah, I
then
stayed out for a bit
Yeah.
until they threw us out of the pub at closing time.
I think I went to bed about 11 o'clock.
I think Wildman, the Black Sun guys, and all them all went to a club. Apparently, more tales of Ben Diesel.
Ben
Apparently, they
Diesel.
decided to jump him in the car park. Like
Yeah.
5 or 6 of them jumped on him, and then there was a cry of "Diesel's been mind razored," and he just chucked them all off and got the windmilling going and kicked everyone's ass.
Yeah, nah. See, that was the thing in the curry house, wasn't it? Was we went in this place and there was a few couples in there on the Saturday night, night out, and we were at the back and we were pretty quiet, just chatting amongst ourselves. There was 8 of us, I think, and then like say 40 people turn up, all at the tournament. Which don't get me wrong, I'm not having a go at them, and they're all quite jovial and quite loud. And they've not been sat down
And
for
you
5
leaned over
minutes.
to me and said, "How long before someone screams, mind razor?"
Yeah.
And it literally was 5 minutes on it.
Yeah.
So, all right, time to go.
Time to go, boys. So we paid up and went across to the pub. And yeah, the whole Ben Diesel thing I watched coming in on Twitter because I was up most of the night being poorly.
I don't know. I was in bed by 11:30. So I had a fairly early one. Not that much of an early one. I know Jack Armstrong was flying. Will Goodwin was overnight leader.
Yep.
Jack was playing him on table 1.
Yep.
And we saw Jack going to bed at like 9 o'clock.
I didn't see him, but yeah, everyone
Ready for an
mentioned
early
this.
one.
Yeah.
He was like, "Yeah, I want my 400." He was
Yeah.
proper keen. So
Wow.
fair play to him.
Don't
But-
count, Jack. If you go to bed early.
No, that's it. Anyway, we're going to have another short break, and we'll come back and cover day 2.
RHQ TV, a videocast dedicated to gaming enthusiasts. Catch the latest tabletop gaming products, get painting and modelling tips from industry experts, watch interviews with leading industry personalities, and in full high-definition video. RHQ TV is for you. More than 100 minutes of high-definition video every month. News, interviews, tournament reports, and product reviews. Warhammer 40k and Fantasy, Flames of War, War Machine, and Hordes, and more.
www.rankingshq.com. RHQ TV. Game on.
Okay, so Sunday of the South Coast. First and foremost, Will Goodwin gets dragged up and gives the yellow jersey.
I missed all this.
So, did you really?
Yeah.
Why?
Toilet.
Will was the overnight leader.
Well done, Will.
Playing off against Jack on table 1, Lizards versus Vampires. I was on table 2, playing against Mark Wildman with his Beastman. So a bit of a repeat of the Friday night. I think we both learnt a bit. I think Mark knew his death magic could probably do nothing against me.
Yeah.
I also knew what it takes to bring down his bestest unit. So I set about that. Basically, Shades, Withering, kept pointing it, and Pit Shades. It was good. That's the only game Pit was useful. I just kept putting Pit Shades down in the middle of the gore block. Yeah, the initiative 3, so 50-50 if you die or not. If the template goes in the middle, you hit what? 12?
Something like that.
Even if it scatters, you're going to hit half a dozen.
Yeah.
I think I scattered once, hit half a dozen, killed 3. Same shooting phase, killed another 4, 5, something like that. Within a couple of turns, one turn I got really good and I killed 11 in one go with -2 toughness on them, withered. And a Rucker shade shot. He basically couldn't stop it, and he had to use his scroll or take the pain. He decided to keep the scroll, which is sensible. Mark's learning. Not many people do. Most people just go, yeah, use it, and that's the turn. I shove everything forward next turn. And it's true. It's true.
Ben Curry, war of a genius.
No, well, it doesn't always pay off. Sometimes you shove it forward, get there, find out you can't fight that well.
Yeah.
But you can't commit while they've still got a scroll if you're relying on a big spell to do damage.
So you are relying on the Mind Razor. Okay.
Not necessarily Mind Razor. There's a few spells that do the same trick.
Just wondering.
Basically, I shot the gore block to pieces. Neither of us had got many points. I got 2 of his chariots early on, so I'm happy. 11-9 minute table 2. I think, to be honest, I wanted a big win out of it. I was just giving him I'm happy for an 11 line.
You just wanted to smash Mark,
just to see what he'd do. And I think he got nervous once the gore block got down to like 15 of them. I put a Harpy unit in front of him, give him like an overrun into my Hydra, something like 9 inches. And he went for it. He charged the Harpies. Harpies go first. They killed like 3 or 4. He charged and he had Withering in play. So his magic phase, he had to use it to stop in the Withering. Otherwise, the Harpies are going to kill like 10 gore or something. So he stopped that. He didn't get much of a magic phase off. He didn't overrun. He decided to do a reform to turn, because it was like turn 4 at this point, to show the flank of the gore block to the Hydra. So his theory being, I charge in, I kill some, his characters move down. Next turn, I only hit gore again. His characters move down. They're still stubborn because of the crown. Gets to turn 6. Hydra probably won't one round his lord. However, when I charged, I decided, right, we'll put Killing Blow on the Hydra. We'll have a go at charging in, because I thought I'll charge, handlers go with magic, either Wither or Mind Razor. Handlers go, Breath Weapon goes, even with the forward ward for the Black and Plate. The Hydra goes, the Thunderstomp goes. It should kill all the gore.
Yeah.
So in my turn, I've got the Hydra gets to attack, the handlers get to attack, then the Hydra gets to attack. With a bit of luck, I'll kill in blow both his characters because they're different toughnesses. Different initiatives that my attacks are. So, you know what I mean? The handlers go first, kill one, Hydra goes. And basically, that's what happened. I went in the flank. I think it was like 11 gore I needed to kill. Did it easily. Mind Razored. You know what I mean? It killed 20 of them. It killed all the gore. He did some damage back with his great weapon. In my turn, I killed both his characters, and that was that pretty much. I can't remember what happened elsewhere. Not much died elsewhere, but I was
20-0?
No, it was an 18.
He's getting better.
55 points off me. Just the Harpies. So did Al. Al Thompson got 55. Mark got 55. Dom got 55, and the Pegasus, which is what, 250 something.
So the moral of the story is then, don't be a Harpy in your army.
Because you die a lot. But yeah, I don't know, Mark. I thought he'd played it well because Jack was looking over and he was sort of like enjoying the symmetry of his army being sort of curved away from mine and mine curving into him, and it looked quite good. I was worried about his chariots, and I got my Pegasus right around the back of his army. He turned both his chariots around at the same time. I would have got the 20, I think, because I pushed the Black Guard forward when he turned the chariots round, and I had a charge next turn. I think I had a 13 charge on his Beastigore unit with his level 4 in, and then the next turn I had something like a 10 or an 11. Might have been a bit more. Might have been 12. It was a close one. It was a 6 or 7 onto his Ungor block with 3 level 1s in, and I failed both the charges. And it's like, why give me the charges? But he didn't see the Ungor one was through a wood at a sharp angle. It was like it was an 8th edition. You know how people say 8th edition charge.
Yeah,
it was one of them where they'd have gone miles, but it was a relatively small number. Yeah. Hydra won the game. Mind Razor didn't need the Mind Razor. The Killing Blow did the trick. But yeah, that was that. I think Mark panicked. He thought he was getting beat, even though the points weren't really big. And he says he'd have lost the gore block anyway. I'd have probably killed his characters, but I wouldn't have killed his characters. He could have got the characters into the Beast of Gore. The Gores would have died. It'd have been 13, but he'd have got 7 points out of it as it was. He got 2, so good game. Enjoyed it. Really close again until like the last couple of turns. And he said after he charged, he says, I don't know why I always fuck it up. I'm doing really well, and then I just fuck it up. I think he got bored. I think he got bored of playing it tight. I really do. And I think he'll admit that as well. But his death magic was doing nothing. He'd got no shooting, and I was picking off. But again, you shoot the gore block all day. you don't kill it.
No.
One man left at the end, isn't it?
No points. Well, I played Chris Tomlin. No. Not Chris Tomlin.
Tamplin.
Tamplin. That's the fella. Sorry, Chris. Firstly, I've got to thank Chris for being very patient because I wasn't at the table a lot. I was to and from the toilets.
Very, very ill.
Very, very ill. Both games on Sunday, throwing up and whatnot. So, yeah, thanks for the patience there, guys. Chris had Warriors, level 4 on a disc, Hero on a disc, and a BSB on a horse in a unit. 2 blocks of Warriors, 16, 17s, 1 for Khorne, 1 Tzeentch, 8 Knights of Khorne, and 2 Chariots, and a Hell Cannon. That was it.
8 Knights of Khorne.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I was quite confident, really. I thought, well, I say I was quite confident while I was there. Thought I can hold it all off, magic it, shoot it, catapult and mortar can do its thing. And that's pretty much what happened. Bogged down on the Chariots, but eventually they went down. Abomination stuck on the Knights and killed them all, which I was very surprised at. I think Chris was quite unlucky.
So you charge the Knights?
I charged the Knights.
Again, you've got the charge, you've got the impact hit, you've got a load of attacks. And
Yeah, but they've got a 1-up save. I thought I was quite lucky, and then they
it's
failed.
a 4-up save after
Yeah.
you've sort of ravaged him.
Yeah,
There's
but
only
he
8 of
also
them.
does a lot of attacks back.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
but he's not got hatred, he doesn't get his rerolls.
No, but it's threes and fours. I did expect them to have the flaming banner, to be honest with you, but they didn't.
But you charged anyway.
Yeah. Well, it can't go anywhere. Do you know what I mean? I put it on the flank to,
Yeah.
again, he's got
'Cause you knew it
gateway.
would chase after
He's
his
got
big
gateway.
shield.
He's got flickering fire. It's like, well, it's going to go down. There's nothing you can do about that.
It's exactly how I'm using my Hydra
Yeah.
at the moment.
Get
it's
it in
gonna
there.
die. Get it in there. Let something chase after. Same with the Blackguard, mate.
Yeah.
Everyone goes, oh, Blackguard,
Yeah.
I can kill them all. And then they don't. There's 2 left.
Yep.
And the
Yeah.
Corsairs are in, or the Hydra's in.
Well, that went through the Knights into his level 4. They only had a wound left at this point. After the Knights had finished with it, I thought, oh, blimey, this could be good. His Hell Cannon had blown up, misfired and rolled a 1. His Warriors just kept trudging forward, getting mortared and 13th and 13th, double 6 13th. Oh, brilliant! Rolled 6. Bloody Rankins HQ
Nice.
dice, I tell you, they're rubbish. So that went off. I forgot the spell. In the end, the level 4 killed the Abomination. Jabbed it in the eye.
In combat.
In combat, yeah.
Nice.
One thing that did happen was he kept charging units, so like slaves or clan rats or whatever, with all his characters. His Lord and his BSB were both... the Lord was on a disc, the BSB was on a horse. Both had great weapons. He kept charging in. Slave champion, up you go, son. Oh, look, your horse has killed him. Guy on top can't fight.
So the rider loses all his attack.
Yeah,
Good
that
too.
happened 3 times.
3 times.
3 times.
Nice.
I did chuckle.
I bet he's pissing himself, but Chris was fuming.
I think the standout moment was the Doomflayer charging the flank of the Khorne Warriors, killing the one guy. I think he was 6 wide, and he had 7 guys left. It kills one guy on the impact hits, so only gets one guy to attack. Doesn't do any wounds. I've got charge, flank, wound, breaks them and runs them down.
Oh dear. Did you laugh about that one as well?
I did give a little bit of a poorly chuckle.
Poorly chuckle.
Poorly chuckle. In the end, that was a big win to me. That was it was 19-1 in the end. Chris just got sort of chaff and war machines basically.
So my game 5, played the other guy or the other army, whatever. I didn't really want to face Jack Armstrong. He'd managed to get a 15-5 win on table 1 against Will. So my big win on table 2, Jack was on 1 waiting for me. So didn't know really what to expect. Again, he's got loads. He's got loads of deployments, but it's all chaff. I know if he wants to beat me, he's got to follow where I deploy. So I cornered it all. Not really defensive corner, but sort of I'm going to play on this half of the table because I don't want you surrounding me too much. Use the table edge as one flank. Sort of the Hydra to protect the other flank. Stop his chaff surrounding me. I got the first turn, just ran at him. Hydra Breath killed a chameleon skink unit straight away. I think he sort of put it out to swap the breath for the chameleon skink unit because he didn't want me getting in combat and killing a bazillion. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'll take that because I know I always take wounds. By the time I reach combat, you don't get to.
It's not doing anything.
No strength.
Yeah.
So I got rid of that pretty quick. I just went at him full bore. Thought whatever. Table 1. If I get 20-0 here, I'm flying. No one's going to catch me. If I get a 10-10 draw, anything could happen in the last game. You don't know who you're playing. Could end up being nowhere. So I went straight at him. Will Goodwin was moaning about all the fences. Table 1 had like 4 fences on it. He was moaning, they don't do anything. Anyway, there's one right in the middle of the board. Jack had placed it there on purpose. Because it's like, yeah, if it does fuck all, we'll stick it in the middle. It'll do you any when you're moving over it. Anyway, he says, what do they do against his rulebook out there? Defend an obstacle. -1 to be hit if you're defending it when someone charges you. So, yeah. So if you've got a Skink Crocs unit with weapon skills 2...
Really?
Up to the defended obstacle, and the Blackguard charger, and the Blackguard are needing 4s to hit you in the first round of combat while you're charging. Pretty good. And he was like, wow, this is like going to have a massive impact in the game. Anyway,
Ban him.
Charged in anyway. The Corsairs, the Blackguard charged, it was like a couple of inches away, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Easy. It was like within 7 inches, didn't need to roll. The Corsairs just got shoved forward. No, that was it. So he put all his skirmishes shit in front of the Corsairs. So I charged that. Shades charged, Pegasus Rider charged, the lot, everything charged to get rid of all his shit. He couldn't flee at all because I'd get my redirects and whatnot. Blackguard got Mind Razored. The reason being, I was wanting him to scroll it. It did nothing for me with regards to the combat because I'm already strength 4. He didn't get his armor save. He still gets his parry whether I'm strength 4 or strength 10. What it mattered was next turn, I could, if I won by a lot, I could go wide, go 20 wide or however many I've lost to cover the front of his Temple Guard unit, and he couldn't charge me if I Mind Razored. But basically, all I wanted was the scroll, and he scrolled it. So that's the turn the Corsairs charged, killed all the chaff. What he didn't realise, he was planning on charging because I put my harpies over the top of his chaff, so my Corsairs overrun would stop on my harpies. So when he countercharged, it's getting complicated, but when he countercharged, he'd have to hit the harpies, then he'd overrun into the Corsairs, and it's my turn again. So again, it is good to charge, but it's also good to fight your combats in your own turn. So
it's not all about charging then?
It's about fighting your combats in your own turn, mainly through charging.
Okay.
Yeah?
Just checking.
You're just checking. Jack wanted to charge a Pterodon unit into... First he wanted a Salamander. He says Salamander's going to charge the flank of the Corsairs. And I was like, what? I've missed something. It's going to lose me the game. And it was in the front by like a mile. I was like, okay, didn't miss that one. He says Pterodon's going to charge. I'd already looked at that. And because he's got three Pterodons and I'm too wide... he'd basically, one Pterodon would be corner with the front of my unit, so his overrunning Temple Guard would hit the Pterodons and stop before they hit the Corsairs, so I'm fine with that. And that's when Jack sort of realised as soon as he realised that, he knew what was going to happen. He knew the Corsairs were going to get the charge on the Temple Guard, Mind Razor, blah, blah, blah. It was like, he saw it all planned out. He'd realised, oh, I've used my scroll, it's all going to happen. And basically it did. He'd sort of got his head around his chaff, he'd played it a bit wrong. So the Pterodons, even though he declared the charge, he failed anyway. Temple Guard didn't get to fight again, and the Corsairs charged in and double six Mind Razor. Funny story though.
It's not that funny though, is it?
It is. Corsairs had more than enough attacks with Mind Razor to delete the whole unit. Jack got his hopes up because I rolled really badly to hit. I got 21 hits out of sort of like 40 attacks after Hatred. So it's like he's got 20 Temple Guard. If I roll 2 1s, I'm not going to delete him. Probably still will next turn, but he's got a chance to grow some back, extra charges, whatnot. 20 wounds out, 21 dice. Took the whole unit off. The Mind Razor shout didn't go up. I thought it was a bit crass on table 1.
Ben Curry, what a cock.
I just did a wry smile. And Jack was like, yeah, well done. And at the end of the day, we chatted about it after the game. He had no reason put the temple guard in the position to be charged. He had that much chaff. He had the salamander breaths. He had enough so that if I did get like 7 or 8 Corsairs into him, it wouldn't have been enough attacks to kill the whole unit.
Yeah.
And then he'd have still had like Scar veteran going back, just half a dozen. You know what I mean? I could have gone in and killed 15 temple guard, and it wouldn't have bothered him. And, but it's I don't know. Maybe he was a bit overeager. He won't do it again. Put it that way. But yeah, basically that was pretty much the tournament because after that it didn't really matter much. I was 8 points ahead going into the last game, I think.
Because I played.
So who did you play? Game
I played
5?
Luke Rooney on table 2. Which, to be honest with you, Luke just, I think, again, thanks to Luke for being patient with me, being sick and popping pills and being sick and et cetera, et cetera. Luke's army was small, real small.
He was running double blackguard,
guard,
assassin, wasn't he, as well?
He's got 2 blackguard, 2 shades, 2 dark riders, 2 crossbows, and then a spearman block, a hydra and a cauldron. A level 4 on death, level 2 on metal, and an assassin, Rending Star Assassin, who goes in the flaming blackguard if needed. And he deployed it all in lines, and I kept winding him up, kept saying, "Really, lines?"
With 5 templates.
Yeah, but no, he put them in his lines. And again, it was just so easy just to go, right, Warp Lightning, 3 Blackguard dead. Warp Lightning, 3 Blackguard dead. Gutter Runners, 3 more Blackguard dead. Mortar, 3 more Blackguard dead. Suddenly you're like, shit, turn them around, get them back.
2 lines of 4 blackguard.
Yeah, basically. The big turning point was he didn't kill the Abomination in his first shooting phase. When I'd gone first, it had just banzaied straight forward into the middle of his shooting death ring.
Take all the shots.
I stopped the what he got. He got something to do
Death,
something.
Spirit Leech, Caress,
Soul
Blight.
Soul Blight, is that the one?
Yeah, it means the crossbows will wound you on 5
That's the one.
6s.
Soul Blight stops that. And he just couldn't take it down, even with the assassin. Assassin, 2 units shades, unit crossbowman, life taker, unit dark riders. Only did 2 wounds to it, 3 wounds to it. And then in my next turn, it went into the unit shades in front of it, deleted them, and then needed a 9 to overrun into his level 4.
Did you roll it?
Yeah. He was a bit shocked at that because obviously it goes 3 dice, not the 2. But he needed to sort of calculated risk, really, of staying within 24 for his death magic, but wanting to...
Got greedy, lost his level 4.
Well, I don't know if he got greedy or not, but yeah.
Did the death magic do anything?
It killed the engineer with the Doom Rocket.
I think after he'd fired it?
No,
fired it.
First turn.
I think if you're running the death magic, you need the focus familiar.
Yeah, you're probably right.
But then you've not got the dagger.
Not got the dagger.
So, I don't know, it's a tough one.
So that, I mean, Luke, we called it after sort of 4 turns, really, because it was just, well, my Abomination Furnace was surrounding what was left of his level 4.
Herding cats.
Yeah, basically. I think all he had left was the 2 crossbowmen, basically.
So
that was 20-0.
So I was on 95, you were on 87.
Something like that.
And we were...
Was I on 87?
Yeah. Yes, got it in front of me now.
Yeah.
And we were going to play on table 1.
That's right.
We were ill.
I went for a little lie down instead. Yeah. I had to sleep in the car.
I think you finished against Luke pretty quick, didn't you? Went straight to the car.
Yeah.
And you said, wake me up the next round. So I came and woke you up like 10 minutes before while Dan's faffing with the projector. So look, draw's going up. It's going to be me and you, table 1. What's the crack? And you're like, I can't do it. Can't do it. It's like, right, I'll send Wayne out.
Well, there was many reasons for that. Firstly, I did feel awful. I said to you, didn't I, on Sunday morning, if we were at a tournament in Mansfield or wherever, I wouldn't have come. I was feeling that bad. But obviously being in Portsmouth, you're like, well, I'll turn up and, see how we get on. I also didn't want to just push it forward and you smash me and everyone be like, oh, well,
rolled over,
gave, took one for the team, etc., etc. I didn't want that to happened to the tournament, because it is such a good tournament, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It deserves to be won by the winner. So I thought it's better off just let me sleep, leave me be, and Dan redoes the draw, steps everyone up one place, and you know what I mean? We get a proper winner.
Yeah, so I ended up playing Will Goodwin.
Yeah.
I looked at the army, thought,
Oh,
right,
and about that was what I mentioned earlier. Me and you in the last game would have been the only time that club mates would have played each other.
Yeah.
Obviously, doesn't want to change it for the last game on the top table.
no, of course not.
But everything else was altered.
So I was facing Will Goodwin. So Will was overnight leader, then he lost to Jack, but then got another big 20-0 win in game round 5
Beat Scott
against Scott Lyons
Table
from the
3.
Black Sun. So, I don't know, I looked at his army, thought, fair enough. Vampires, already beat one of these ones
Yeah.
this weekend. I'm 10 points ahead of him, so I've got no worries about, you know what I mean? I think as looking at the results, he'd need to win 17-3 against me,
Yeah.
which unlikely, unless I just totally roll over. So, I mean, I looked at it. I deployed first unit, I think. Harpy's in the middle of the board, like I always do. Will's first unit was 40 ghouls, sort of off to his right flank, sort of like the centre of the right-hand half of the board. So, like,
Yeah.
18 inches in from the table edge, 40 ghouls, 7 inch from his back edge. Sort of like, well, he's playing for a draw. So I put 10 warriors, well, my 12 warriors opposite them, sort of on my table edge, where I'd put them if I was going to deploy my whole army there. And then he put his bunker unit directly behind his ghouls, but off close to the table edge. I'm like, you know what? Fuck this. Everything else in the opposite corner, 10-10. No, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd win the tournament, as bad as it sounds, because I'd have liked to have gone at him. I also means I get to put your army away, my army away.
Yeah.
Ring the insurance company so I get to drive home, because I had to drive home in your car because you were too ill. A lot to do. I says, look, Will, I'm going to take the 10, corner it all. You're never going to get here. You know what I mean? It's, you know, and Will was like, oh, should we call it now? I was like, well, can do. It's up to you. See what you want to do. If you want to try and run at me, I've got some magic missiles. You know what I mean? Kill that Wraith unit. That's 2 tournament points. And we basically shuffled around for 3 turns. Called Danny over and said, look, mate, it's going to be 10. Can we call it now? It's like, yeah, fair enough. And yeah, 10-10. So bit of a damp squib to the last game, but I finished on 105 points.
To be honest, though, even if we had have played, I don't see the result having been that different because of you having 6 or 7 tournament points over me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like you say, I need to win quite big, and your army's more than capable of stopping somebody doing that. You know, you might not be able to push it and beat me, but you can certainly stop me from winning by a large margin.
Yeah, it was a shame, really, because I was looking forward to it. I was thinking, how would I go with it? And I think I'd have just done what I did in the other games, which was sort of...
I think you'd have done you'd have done what you did against Will.
Probably not, because you've got the ability to... The way I was looking at our game was, I'm 8 points ahead on battle, but I thought you'd be 5 points ahead on painting. So I'm only 3 points ahead. Plus, if there's a sportsmanship point here or there, it could only be 2 points ahead. So I could lose 12-8 and come second because I've lost 12-8. So I thought I needed to play. So it was sit at 24, shoot with the shades until the Abomination of the Furnace goes down, and then shove the big units in. And that's what I did every game, pretty much. Sometimes I shoved sooner, sometimes it was later, but it was the same sort of plan.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean? You say sit at 24, it sounds quite far, but then you march forward 10 inches and you've got a 12-inch charge, and it's not a lot.
No.
And if they back up, it's like, well, fair enough, another turn of shooting, no danger, and another march 10 inches and you're right in someone's face.
I think it would have been very, very tricky for me to have beaten you by enough to have won the tournament.
The way I saw it in my head was I'm only 2 or 3 points ahead, so I need to play because you can easily win 14-6, 13-7, and then it's close.
Okay.
Too close to come. As it was, I got an 8 for painting.
Yeah.
I was only thinking I'd get a 5, so I was a bit more comfort zone, which I didn't know I'd had. So yeah, it'd been put it this way: if you'd have beat me 12 or 13, it'd have been a tense run into the end. It'd have been really close. We wouldn't have known.
No.
I think we both thought would have got it with that points, but we wouldn't have been certain.
Yeah.
But yeah, good tournament. I took out first place in the end.
Well done.
Like I say, 105 battle points. I've been thinking back with the 20-0 system. Don't think I've scored that many before.
Don't know.
So it's a bit
Don't
disappointing with
really.
the last one against Will. He clearly didn't fancy the matchup, and he said so as well. So I don't know, if I'd have pushed for that, maybe I could have cracked 110. I don't know, he'd have been good.
I don't know. I mean, it's a weird one, isn't it? You know, people might be listening thinking, oh, well, you know, you've just said that you didn't play because you didn't want people thinking you've just rolled over, and then you've told a story about the two of you just sitting there and taking a 10-10 for first and second. But I think that's very different because...
See, that was the other thing. I think Will knew if he tried to beat me, he could lose and come like 5th or 6th or something. Whereas if he took the 10, he's in for placing.
Yeah.
Whereas I knew if I took the 10, I've won the tournament. It's different kettle of fish then, isn't it?
It is. It's completely different, especially as well because you know you're not club mates.
Yeah.
Is one of the big differences. And why risk it? Why risk it on table one?
It's a difficult discussion, isn't it? Because like I always
it's an odd one, but
the circumstances. I think in any other circumstance, if I was playing Will and I knew I was like 12, 13 points ahead of table 2, I was 10 points ahead of Will, table 1. I think I'd still had a good game of it. I wouldn't have just total baselined it. I'd have played cautiously, knowing certainly against that army, if the Shades are both alive, Pegasus Rider's alive, my Wizard Bunker's alive, I can lose the Blackguard, the Corsairs, the Hydra, and I'll only go down 15 and I'll still win. So I'd have still gone for it, you know what I mean? But with the whole having to sort out the car insurance, couldn't get audio misses on the phone, so I needed to make some phone calls and other things like that. I knew I had some running around to do. So I thought, well, look, quick game, done in half an hour, and I can get back on sorting craziness out. But
while I slept,
it didn't put a dampener on the tournament. I still had a great tournament.
No, I had a good time, other than the sickness.
So big thanks to all my opponents. I was well happy to take out first place. Got a second and a first for plus a best Dark Elf General. What else did I pick up? Best General, which was quite nice because I've not had one of them before.
Not.
The best overall and the best General this year, so I got both of them. You picked up
best painted player's choice, so thank you for everyone who voted. Best Skaven, even though I only played 5 games.
And fourth place. And that was close as well. 130. You were on 113.
Yeah.
Chris Legg in third was on 114. So close for fourth place.
If we had have had a 10-10, it'd have been 1 and 2.
Yeah. But, oh well.
Also picked up best terrain.
Yep.
Which was quite nice. I think Wildman picked up best beastman and judge's choice as well.
Yeah.
Or co-judge's choice, should I say?
So we had a right car full of trophies.
We did. We had about
9 of them.
About 9, yeah.
Yeah. Quite good. But the big thing about the South Coast is the trophies. The
trophies
amazing.
are fantastic. Yeah.
Trophies are really big cup type things on plaques, but
they don't look cheap.
They don't look cheap now. And when there's a table of them, there's like 30 of them on one. Not quite that many. 25.
Yeah, 25.
Like
well, 15 for best race, isn't there?
15 for best race. 3.
1, 2, 3 best general. 2 painting. A sports terrain.
Yeah, quite a few. And they look great laid out at the front, so it was all good. So
I've got loads of them. I think I've got about 7.
What, best race?
No, South Coast GT trophies.
Oh, I don't know how many I've got. I think I've got 4 now.
They did do best general last year.
Did they?
Yes, because I won
you
one.
got it.
Yeah, thinking about it.
Fair enough. So other placings, all other shout-outs. I want to give a shout-out for 5th place, Matt Sewell.
Yes.
Not normally up there. Managed to get a big win in the last round and catapulted him up to his 5th place.
Every time I saw him, how you doing, Matt? Ruining someone's hobby.
What was he using? Vampires?
Vampires.
Yeah, ruining someone's hobby.
Yeah.
Good lad. Other trophies went to best painted was Mark Wildman and Steve Phelps, is it?
Steve something.
Yeah.
Can't remember
Who best sports was?
No.
Again, it was Mark Wildman won best sports, didn't he? Along with another chap, and they had a roll-off.
No, that was
right?
painting.
Oh, painting, okay.
Him and Steve were tied for judge's choice, and because Mark had picked up Best Beastman trophy. I think he let him take the trophy,
Yeah.
I believe. Best sports, I can't remember, but he did get 6 votes from 6 games,
Oh, yeah. I
which
remember
is
that.
very impressive. So impressive we can't remember his name.
So, yeah.
I think that was it for prizes, wasn't it?
Yeah, there's a fair old few.
Obviously, everyone who got best race, etc., but
Okay, so that covers the South Coast GT 2011. So,
painting. We said we'd talk about painting.
Well, just want to give a big thanks to Dan Wayne
Oh, yeah.
for running it.
Did we not do that at the start?
Probably. Definitely be back next year.
Oh, God,
so
yeah.
if you're thinking about going, get a ticket straight away.
Yes.
Get your travelling booked as soon as you know when the dates
Don't
are.
tell 'em that.
Don't tell them. They'll forget.
I know.
So, yeah, painting. Talk to me about painting.
What
In
did you...
fact, let's go for a short break.
Okay.
When we come back, we'll wrap up the show and we'll talk about painting and that.
Okay.
Unseen Lurker is a new, exciting gaming magazine covering gaming, tactics, hobby, modelling, reviews, interviews, and even the occasional zebra. Each issue has a quarter of the magazine available for download, so you can try before you buy. It's the first independent global magazine encompassing articles from generals and hobbyists all over the world. Every issue of Unseen Lurker, that's Lurker with an E, is packed with giveaways such as custom dice, t-shirts, as well as the Game of the Month as reviewed by our Unseen Lurker test dummies. For more information, check out unseenlurker.com. Okay, so that's another show in the bag. Episode 60, done and dusted. Next episode's going to be... might have some Tomb King stuff in that one. Don't know. We'll see when the release
We've
dates
not even
are.
mentioned them, have we?
Don't
They are
need to.
released on 5th and 6th of May. I
Yeah,
believe.
which is the Call to War weekend. So we'll have another tournament review. We'll talk about... In fact, we're going to record before then, I think. So we'll talk about what we're going to do at Call to War and amongst other things. So, South Coast GT painting you wanted to talk about. Well, not so much South Coast, just painting in general at tournaments.
Well, it's not very good, is it?
Really? That's a bit rough.
Is it?
You think the general standard's gone downhill?
I think so, yeah. There's a lot of people who've put feedback of that on the forum saying that there's not, they're walking around the hall voting for armies and there's not a lot out there.
Yeah.
The amount of armies as well that I noticed that weren't laid out, which I think tells its own story.
I was guilty of that, yeah. Do you think it's down to the fact that sort of the 8th edition of the bit of slackness of, it's new game, new army side? Yeah, I'm
So you're
getting to
old,
that.
dude.
I'm getting to that. Do you
I don't think that
the
washes anymore.
hangover's sort of been dragged on a bit too long now?
Definitely. I think tournament organisers need to be a bit more harsh on it. And I know people are going to come back with, well, you're only saying that because you could paint. I'm not. Do you know what I mean? The basic standard's still the basic standard, and it's not being hit. I don't think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Do you know what I mean? And also, as well, the terrain at the weekend was shocking.
Was it really?
Do you not think?
Yeah. I didn't have a proper look round with that.
Just think of the tables you played on.
Yeah.
There was so much terrain, which was 7th edition style. A piece of felt with one tree.
See, I'm another one. I borrowed yours, so I can't really say.
No.
But at least I went out the way to borrow some.
You didn't get that far out of the way, though, did you? But, yeah, I mean, it's a very visual game still. And especially the terrain. I don't know. Maybe I'm just bitter and...
Maybe so. So what we'll do then, in fact, I'll tell you what, next episode, we'll do a painting episode. Oh, you're shaking your head.
No, that's fine.
We'll do a painting episode and we'll talk about what we've seen at tournaments, ways to improve, simple tricks. We've talked about all this stuff in the past.
Yeah.
We'll have an episode full of it and we'll cover it all next episode of how to basically just make your army look that bit better.
Yeah.
Small, simple tricks and
I
tips
think
and tricks.
one way of doing it is for tournaments to give better rewards out.
Well,
Better
again,
rewards for people putting a little bit more effort in. Or bigger penalties for people not hitting the basic standard.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, it's another topic we could talk about. We're going to do a painting episode next episode.
Okay.
We could talk about all that sort of stuff because 5 minutes at the end of this show isn't really enough to cover it. So
Okie dokie.
we'll get into. So if you've got any questions about painting, any ideas you want to throw this way, any tips, anything at all, stick them up on the Bad Dice forums. Bad Dice forums are free to sign up to. I don't know if many people know this, because we always talk about the Snake Eyes section, but you can sign up to the forums for free. Just go over to baddice.co.uk, click the forum tab, head over there. There's a bonus content section where you'll be able to get all the downloads from the South Coast GT coverage, the Ben Diesel videos, all the stuff we've done for years past. We've had 3 South Coasts now where we've recorded that. All the Masters coverage from over the years. Everything. There's loads of hours and hours of footage on there. Stick some stuff on the general chat. I'll post up something on there and we can get some ideas going for the painting. We've also got a couple of listeners' questions been emailed to me the last few weeks, so we'll try and answer some of them next episode as well.
Oh, exciting.
One of them is a guy called, I think his name is Jonathan, wants some ideas about his Warriors of Chaos Army for the Hard Boys, so we'll try and cover that as well. So, we'll see you next episode. In the meantime, you follow us on Twitter.
Yeah,
it's baddice_podcast. So, yeah. Catch you next time. Thanks
See you later, guys.
The preceding podcast was brought to you by Ben and Ben Productions. If you actually enjoyed the show and feel the need to tell other people about it, you can leave a positive review on iTunes. You can contact both your hosts at thebens@baddice.co.uk, or you can contact us individually on Ben Curry at baddice.co.uk or Ben Johnson at baddice.co.uk. So thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode of the Bad Dice Podcast.